Cade Gilbertson will be here for the All-Star game today, sir.
Yeah, Rosemount, very good one from Rosemount. Coach Erdman, throughout the years, just watch this kid grow from sophomore to junior to senior, and progression has been unreal.
Okay. Yeah, that was good. All right. Good.
To North Dakota State University.
My name is Jalen Reese. I go to East Ridge High School, and I play linebacker, and I'm committed to Air Force.
I'm Garrison Monroe. I go to Shakopee High School, play DB, and I'm committed to the Gophers.
My name is Ashton Lloyd from Blue Earth Area High School. I'm a defensive end.
Caleb Van Cura, JCC High School, middle linebacker, undecided.
I'm Joel Taylor from Eden Prairie High School, tight end.
Devin Jordan, Eden Prairie High School. I play DB, and I'm committed to Air Force.
Christian Rodriguez of Sika High School. I play running back, and I'm undecided.
Carter Gertz, Byron. I play O-line, and I'm going to UMD next year.
Drew Henson, Owatonna High School, kicker punter, and I'm going to play football at University of Minnesota Duluth next year.
Peyton Burns, Stewartville High School, O-line, and undecided.
Ryan Retzer, Belle Plaine, Minnesota High School, offensive line, Augustana football commit.
Noah Strickfaden, Central High School, quarterback, undecided.
Noah Gullickson, Rimville County West, right guard.
Bryce Corson, Fillmore Central, wide receiver, and undecided.
Caden Peters, Plainville, Jamilville, DB.
Tyson Corman, Randolph High School. I'm going to play football at University of Northern Iowa.
Adam Poslet from Goodhue, play wide receiver, committed to the University of North Dakota.
Stefano Giovanelli, St. Louis Park High School, wide receiver, University of St. Thomas.
Ryder Patterson, Lakeville South High School, defensive back, and University of Minnesota Duluth.
I'm Noah McLeod from Lakeville South, play linebacker, and I'm going to North Dakota University.
My name is Braden Moore. I go to Farmington High School. I play defensive end, and I'm committed to the University of North Dakota.
David Mackestead, Fairmont High School, DB, undecided.
Jonah Verstrate, Marshall High School, strong safety, Minnesota State University Moorhead.
Marquez Monroe, Bloomington Kennedy. I play safety, and I'm undecided.
Fans, joining us today are over 60 student athletes that have been named to this year's academic all-state team. These student athletes were selected by a panel of coaches from across the state and have performed at a high level on both the football field as well as in the classroom. Please hold your applause until all student athletes have been introduced. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from Maple Grove, Tanner Albeck. From Coon Rapids, Eric Anda. From Malacca, Clay Anderson. From Stillwater, Thomas Blair. From New Prague, Nathan Burkhardsmeyer. From Royalton, Connor Carlson. From New London Spicer, Bryson Christensen. From St. Michael Albertville, Colton Damaris. From Albert Lee, Max Edwin. From Egan, Sam Iacker. From Norman County East, Riker Ellingworth. From Breckenridge, Dallin Ernst. From Grand Rapids, Ethan Florek. From Columbia Heights, Thomas Goodman. From Minnetonka, Cosmo Guion. From Sauk Rapids Rice, Andrew Haran. From Elk River, Tristan Hill. From St. Paul Harding, Robert Tu. From St. Francis, Brady Johnson. From Waseca, Jacob Keller. From Westbrook Walnut Grove, Daniel Cleven. From Pine Island, Sam Knox. From Andover, Ben Kopetsky. From West Central area, Isaac Kreft. From Austin, Jack Lang. From Cass Lake Bena, Trayvon Lee. From Hillcrest Lutheran Academy, Evan Lindgren. From Janesville Waldorf Pemberton, Carson Lindsay. From Centennial, Reese Littlefield. From St. Anthony Village, Matthias Lundgren. From Barnum, Ryan Manahan. From Hinckley Finlayson, Jordan Masterson. From Blue Earth area, Parker Myers. From Shakopee, Garrison Monroe. From Deer River, Rhett Munt. From Minneapolis South, Jack Neal. From Champlain Park, Benjamin Nelson. From Alexandria, Jordan Nicholson. From Marshall, Chidi Wakama. From Fillmore Central, Dylan O'Connor. From Detroit Lakes, Brock Okeson. From Cannon Falls, Colton Otto. From Blooming Prairie, Samuel Perkle. From Goodhue, Adam Poncelet. From Watertown Mayor, Albert Rundell. From Shakopee, Jacob Brood. From Sleepy Eye, Arian Sines. From Chatfield, Drew Schindler. From East Ridge, Riley Schwellenbach. From Annandale, Tyson Schoberg. From Central High School in Norwood, Young America, Noah Strickfadden. From Maconia, Lincoln Vick. From Mount Westonka, Will Wallace. From St. Agnes, Aiden Walsh. From Forest Lake, Keegan Zeidler. From East Grand Forks, Caleb Zedlick. And from Belle Plaine, Ryan Retzer. Let's give a round of applause for the 2022 Minnesota Football Academic All-State Team. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to announce that we have a very special guest in the house for tonight's All-Star game. Coach Nick Lanners of Royalton was seriously injured in a car accident in July, and this is his first game that he has been able to attend since that time. Royalton has a player and a coach participating in tonight's All-Star game, and another player honored with academic All-State honors. Coach Lanners, we join the coaches, players, and fans from Royalton to honor you and to wish you all the best with your efforts to get back on the field as a keeper of the game. Please give a warm round of applause for Coach Nick Lanners and his family.
Somebody sexy, tell them, hey, give me everything tonight. Give me everything tonight. Give me everything tonight. Give me everything tonight.
Bands of the night, cause tomorrow I'm off to do battle, perform for a princess. But tonight, I can make you my queen and make love to you endless. It's insane the way the name growing, money keep flowing. Hustlers moving silent, so I'm tiptoeing. So keep blowing, I got it locked up like Lindsay Lohan. Put it on my life, baby. I'ma give you a ride, baby. Can't promise tomorrow, but I promise tonight. Excuse me, and I might drink a little more than I should tonight. And I might take you home with me if I could tonight. And baby, I'ma make you feel so good tonight. Cause we might not get tomorrow.
And greetings, welcome inside U.S. Bank Stadium. We're so happy to be here. It is the Minnesota High School Football All-Star Game brought to you by the Minnesota Football Coaches Association. It's the North versus the South. I'm Torrey Holt. He is Travis Walsh, the former Winona State All-American. Welcome inside beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium. It is the 50th game in the current series, the 61st overall All-Star game here in 2022. This is the first night game since 2011 as the All-Stars get ready to go. Travis, we got a great game here tonight. A lot of guys showcased in this football game, a lot of great players around the state of Minnesota. But 6 of the 10 finalists for the MFCA Mr. Football Award are here. Sam Backer, Cade Gilbertson, Cade Osterman, Tanner Shevel, Reese Tripp, and one of your favorites from Stillwater, Max Shikonjansky.
Real excited about Max. I had a chance last year to spend about a week with their football program, and even as a junior, just really jumped out at me. I don't think he's through the roof with any one skill, but man, he is above average in a lot of them. And obviously that name caught me right away. Growing up in Minnesota in the mid-'80s, and you hear that name, you go, oh, right. Minnesota Gopher basketball. Right. So, yeah, so really enjoyed what he did at his high school, but I'm really excited to see what he does in this setting. I think it's going to be really tough for our quarterbacks. Why? They're learning a whole new language in 3 days, and that'll be something that we got to keep an eye on. The coaches mentioned.
We get an opportunity to check in downstairs with our PA announcer, Dave Giles. He has the starting lineups.
From Academy of Holy Angels, Charles Gilbert III. From Shakopee, Garrison Monroe. From St. Louis Park, Stefano Giovanelli. From Central High School in Norwood, Young America, Noah Strickfaden. From Marshall, Jonah Verstrate. From Woodbury, Coyote Amushan. From Shakopee, Jaden Hellerud. From Owatonna, Drew Henson. From Fillmore Central, Bryce Corson. From Farmington, Braden Moore. From Lakeville South, Ryder Patterson. From Fairmont, David Mackestad. From Randolph, Tyson Corman. From Chatfield, Sam Backer. From Bloomington Kennedy, Marquez Monroe. From Goodhue, Adam Poncelet. From Mankato West, Ty Niels. From Eden Prairie, Devin Jordan. From Plainview, Elgin Millville, Caden Peters. From Jackson County Central, Caleb Bencura. From Rosemount, Hayden Bills. From Rosemount, Cade Gilbertson. From Wasika, Christian Rodriguez. From Lester Prairie, Tanner Scable. From Rochester Mayo, Rudy Loizoa. From Byron, Carter Gertz. From Mankato West, Trenton Fontaine Wendinger. From Lakeville South, Owen McLeod. From Belle Plaine, Ryan Retzer. From Renville, County West, Noah Gullickson. From Stewartville, Peyton Byrne. From Chaska, Caleb Rector. From Mount West Tonka, Sam Diozegi. From Minnetonka, Jack Lewinsky. From Casson Manorville, Reese Tripp. From Prior Lake, Greg Johnson. From Eastridge, Jalen Reese. From Eden Prairie, Jermel Taylor. From Prior Lake, Martin Owusu. From Blue Earth area, Ashton Lloyd. And from Egan, Keenan Wilson. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your South All-Stars. The South All-Star team is coached by Aaron Ferrier from Redwood Valley, Derek Flan from Bold, Darren Rash from Zumbrota, Mazeppa, Charlie Reed from Woodbury, Dana Strain from Hastings, and the head coach of the South All-Stars from St. Thomas Academy, Dan O'Brien. Now it's time to meet your North All-Stars. From Andover, Sam Musungu. From Robbinsdale Armstrong, Cordell Wilson. From Totino Grace, William Russell. From White Bear Lake, Tolu Oyekunle. From Maple Grove, Tanner Albeck. From Minneapolis North Community, Avon Sager. From Matamidi, Corey Bomert. From St. Francis, Philip Conant. From Maple Grove, Jacob Kilzer. From Pequot Lakes, Cullen Cradaville. From Stillwater, Max Shikanjansky. From Cloquet, Reese Sheldon. From Forest Lake, Weston Hoyt. From Hill Murray, Sawyer Seidel. From Detroit Lakes, Ethan Carrier. From Zimmerman, Hayden Spence. From Sauk Rapids Rice, Andrew Haran. From Dazzle Cokato, Tate Link. From Kirkoven, Murdoch, Sunberg, Isaac Rudnigan. From Esco, Nolan Witt. From Elk River, Cade Osterman. From Grand Rapids, Owen Glenn. From Crookston, Ethan Bull. From Centennial, Reese Littlefield. From Stillwater, Charlie Gibson. From Grand Rapids, Grant Chandler. From Tartan, Alan Pearson. From Wayzata, Chase Ullum. From Dilworth, Glendon Felton, Victor Sosa. From Barnesville, Johnny Robidoux. From Robbinsdale Cooper, John Barrow. From East Grand Forks, Caleb Zedlick. From Buffalo, Carter Walker. From Moorhead, Austin Schultz. From Rakori, Jacob Lopa. From Anoka, Grant Chapman. From Irondale, Trey Mack. From Champlain Park, Magnus Wright. From Osseo, Jerome Williams. From Kimball area, Cade Gassler. From Monticello, Jensen Wallin. From Osseo, Bryce Hawthorne. From Belgrade, Druten El Rosa, Jameson Reed. And from Royalton, Jackson Kasich. Ladies and gentlemen, these are your North All-Stars. The North All-Star team is coached by Charles Adams from Minneapolis North, Bill Kinnanen from Grand Rapids, Jamie Morford from Royalton, Matt Radnicki from New York Mills, Paul Chinjum from Ada Borup West.
So that's the starting lineup for the North versus South game. And you talked about Max Shikanjansky, who you liked off the North team. Who do you like from the South?
I like the whole O-line.
Yeah.
I mean, starting with the Gopher commits in Greg Johnson and Reese Tripp, just being able to watch these two guys work next to each other. I don't know if they're going to be split at tackle, but they have a really big front across the board and really active front. Can't wait to watch that matchup with some of the North D linemen.
We're just about set for kickoff here. We're going to pause, stand, and rise for our national anthem. That is coming here in just a moment. U.S. Bank Stadium hosting the 50th installment of this version of the All-Star Game, and we're just about set to get things kicked off. Here's our anthem.
At this time, please remove your caps, place your right hand over your heart, or render a salute if you are a veteran in the military, for the singing of our national anthem by local musical trio of Julia, Angie, and Megan.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the
Thank you. Now let's meet today's officials for the 50th Annual All-Star Game. The referee is Mike Matteo. The umpire is David Krieg. The line judge, Randy Hansen. The head linesman, Aaron Williams. The field judge, Sean Hunter. The side judge, Timothy Weir. And the back judge is Jake Seifert. Please direct your attention to midfield as our referee Mike Matteo conducts today's coin toss with the captains from both the North and South All-Star teams. The South captains are number 2, Kellen Johnson from Pipestone area, number 10, Jaden Hellerud from Shakopee, number 15, Ryder Patterson from Lakeville South, and number 87, Martin Owusu from Prior Lake. The North captains are number 5, Tanner Albeck from Maple Grove, number 12, Max Schickenjansky from Stillwater, number 15, Sawyer Seidel from Hill Murray, and number 48, Charlie Gleason from Hill.
All right, gentlemen, shake hands. Introduce yourselves to each other. All right, guys, congratulations on being part of this important event today. We welcome you to the stadium. North as our home team, South as our visitors. From South, who will be selecting heads or tails on the coin toss?
Oh, tails.
South selects tails. It's a heads. North is 1, is elected to receive. Which way do you guys want to kick? All right, stay where you're at. North has won the ball and is selected to receive. South will kick from this direction. Guys, shake hands. Let's have a great game.
We're all set for this one, the North versus the South. I mentioned off the top, the South has won 5 consecutive, all 5 that have been played in U.S. Bank Stadium. Incidentally, it's the longest win streak in this All-Star game. Will that be the case today? We'll find out here in the next 2 hours. Tori Holt, Travis Walsh along with you. Very glad to be here. This is such a great event and a nice way to cap the high school football season. We had a wonderful prep bowl last weekend.
Yeah, and you think about some of the guys that played last week, and they're going on, oh, this is game 15.
Yeah.
And then there's some guys that haven't played for a month, a month and a week. So for some, you're going, I just want to be healthy for this game. For the other ones, you're saying, I need to get back in the rhythm of this game and how a practice week works. And, oh, by the way, as we talked about earlier, learning a new language, learning a new offense. But I've never been on kickoff team, Coach, right? You're going to get some of that stuff, so can't wait.
How about the coaching staffs here today? What do you know about them? Head coach Matt Lombardi just won a state championship with Maple Grove in it the last 2 years, and the head coach of the South is Dan O'Brien of St. Thomas Academy, has been very successful over the years.
Yeah, so what's interesting is a lot of the staffs are announced earlier, maybe as deep as the summer, so they're going to have familiarity with, they've at least started to work on what are they going to be from an identity standpoint on offense and defense. I'm really curious, are we going to see Maple Grove on defense? Are we going to see St. Thomas Academy on offense, because those are the head coaches? Let's see what they've did over the last, since the summer, and then also what they were able to actually officially be able to teach here over the past week.
Drew Henson's going to put it underway for the South team there at the 40-yard line. Henson from Owatonna, Minnesota. The kid can kick it. He's uncommitted. 6'5", 193-pounder. And the North is going to receive it with 2 return men. And this one is going to go into the end zone, and there will be no return. So the ball will be placed at the 20-yard line. That's where the North will start.
Nice kickoff there, by the way. Anytime you can put in the end zone as a high school kid, you're in a good spot. And it looks like they're trying to kick away, so it's just something to track from a very dangerous return man.
Weston Hoyt, Forest Lake. So we'll start it out for the North team. It's going to be Max Shikanjansky of Stillwater High School bringing his offense out on the field. This is a little bit of a different game here, the North and the South, and what kinds of things that they can do on offense and defense. They get certain times that they can blitz. They get certain times that here's a handoff coming to the near side, and they're going to get a couple of yards here on first down. It was Sawyer Seidel of Hugh Murray High School carrying the first play of the game. But what do you know about how you're able to run your offense and defense?
Yeah, so basically the coaches were given 10 formations on offense that they can run. The defense then has to map out how they're going to align to that. So both teams will have an idea of how it's going to set up. To your point earlier, we are not going to see blitzing. So you can blitz if you're on the front, you can come if you're on the front, but if you're on the second level, you're going to have to wait for that.
Handoff, near side, same ball carrier, broken tackle across the 40-yard line and kept sliding through. It was Sawyer Seidel, and the pioneer in the Suburban Gray Conference, who had a big game earlier this season. He went for 300 yards on 40 carries against Benilde St. Margaret, scored 4 touchdowns in that 36-9 win. Here you get another opportunity to see him.
Yeah, I think when you talk to the coaches over here, say, hey, this was one of those guys that really helped us to start turning this program around and moving it in a different direction.
You can see how those helmets, the amount of stickers that they've been sharing this week as they've gotten ready to play this football game. Here's Shikanjansky. They're going to play fake inside, quick pass outside, and maybe a gain of a couple on the play. It looked like it was Reese Sheldon from Cloquet High School hauled that in.
Yeah, and watching Max, they do a little bit of that at Stillwater. So when you start thinking about, man, what's new? Just catching a ball out of gun, riding the ball into the stomach, pulling it. Like, all these things are brand new that he's trying to pick up in 3 days.
Shikanjansky checks back in, went for 22.94 through the air this season for the Ponies. 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Notes his favorite player is Lamar Jackson. Max Shikanjansky.
I think it should have been his dad.
Play action, or handoff rather, coming back to the near side of the jet sweep. It's once again Reese Sheldon of Cloquet, who's committed to North Dakota State University, and now it looked like a flag went down, and you don't see too many flags. Is that a flag or is that a? It is a flag. Maybe it was a glove for a moment.
Starting to see offensively, hey, wanting to move it. So what are they trying to do earlier? They're trying to get it wide. Let's get that defense running and then come back to some things in the middle. Maybe get him to over pursue a little bit. I would like, just with Max, just one more thing. I said, relative, what I didn't say well is relative to a college level, no one's going to say he's got the best arm in the country, he's the fastest kid. High school level, he's through the roof in Minnesota on all of those. But just an outstanding leader. I just really enjoyed watching him that week with everything that he does.
2nd and 9 now from the 43. Shikanjansky throws short, coming back to make the reception. It is caught. Nice job that time on that throw to the far side. It was Andrew Haran from Sauk Rapids Rice. Caught 40 balls for 664 yards and 8 touchdowns this year. That was a long throw from the quarterback position all the way across to the wide side of the field, and Haran came back to scoop it up.
What happens a lot of times is he has the choice to go either way. And you're probably sitting there as a coach going, don't go to the wide side of the field. But he has the arm strength to be able to do it. And I think what they're trying to do is just get him in a little bit of a rhythm here.
Big first down play. Going down the right side. He's got a man, and that one is incomplete. He overthrew his intended receiver, Sam Masungu.
And I'll tell you what, Sam did a nice job. We want the ball just a little bit tighter, but Sam did an awesome job of just pressing, and then releasing late into the sideline. That's something they'll probably come back to. We always talked about the quarterback's lawn as an area for a receiver that you don't want to go into. Only the quarterback throwing the ball there brings you into that area. And it's usually about 4 yards from the sideline in which you really want to be able to hold your ground. And Sam did a phenomenal job there.
So fourth down.
Deep safety is Aiden Peters, number 26 from Plain Belgium, Millville.
And it looks like the North is going to punt it away. It is a high kick. It's going to be fair caught at the 30-yard line. So the South is going to take over. North gets a first down, but stalls out. And we'll get an opportunity to take a look at our South All-Stars.
Silver Saddle, Hill Murray, running back,
Charlie Gleason, Stillwater High School, defensive end.
And we'll get it there in a moment. Kellen Johnson from Pipestone, who lists Josh Allen as one of his favorite players, will hand it off at first down. And a big carry around the left side, picking up 13 yards on that carry with Sam Backer.
Now you're going to see Sam in a different setting. Last week in prep bowl, we see him direct snap quarterbacking. Now you're going to get him at what he's going to end up doing in college down at Mankato, more of a traditional tailback set.
Yeah, lost to the championship game to Barnesville. 35-20 in the 2A title game did Sam Backer at Chatfield for the Gophers. Finished the season 12-1, a tough loss as they went in undefeated. Motion from the bottom to the top. It's going to be Backer. Spins off a tackler and still on his feet. He got maybe one on the carry and brought down right at the 45-yard line. It'll bring up second down and 9 as Backer touches it the first 2 times the South has the football.
The other thing that's going to be interesting, you got guys like Sam who are used to carrying the ball 35 times,
Sure.
right? Well, now you're going to go on a drive, maybe sit out a drive.
Yeah.
And being able to get back in that rhythm is something in an all-star game that's completely different than what your high school setting would be.
Backer is into the backfield to the right of Kellen Johnson, who snaps one out far side, caught, and that's going to be near the first down. It was a nice pass to the outside that time. It was Adam Poncelet from Goodhue, Minnesota.
Coaches raved about Kellen this week, mainly how well he was able to pick up everything. You think about this, and I mentioned a couple times, he is being told right now a very long play to run 30 yards in, give it to a huddle, recite it, and he had never heard any of this stuff up until this week. That's part of what makes this game so challenging, and they said Kellen really stood out outside of the physical stuff.
Sure.
And you certainly saw that there with a long, really accurate throw.
Kellen Johnson, his team went 8-3 this year. They played into the section final game. Here's Backer right up the middle, has the first down on 3rd and 1, gets down to the 40-yard line on the draw.
You're really starting to see the movement. So I mentioned in our open here, the O-line for the South is big and physical, and you're starting to already see that take place here.
You look down on the offensive line if you get a chance. 6'7", 340-pound Reese Tripp out of Casson Manorville. He's headed to Minnesota. Also headed to Minnesota, as you pointed out, Greg Johnson, 6'6", 310 pounds. He's from Prior Lake. They're both out there right now. Why not run the football? Back to pass. Going deep down the right side. It's a one-on-one, and that one is incomplete, broken up. Nice throw that time by Kellen Johnson, giving his receiver an opportunity in a one-on-one to try to win that battle. But that was a good throw that time, and Stefano Giovanelli could not hang on.
Yeah, I think it was Caden Spence over the top of this. Played a lot of running. Was a phenomenal running back in high school. It looks like they converted him over. You want to talk about a highlight film? Watching his Zimmerman stuff was something special. They gave him a 4-vert look, 4 over 4, chucked it deep, and he was there for the fit.
The 2nd and 10 play, motion coming to the near side. We're going to get all kinds of illegal motion, and we're going to hear from the white hat, Mike Matteo, who's down on the field running this crew today.
Penalty. Still 2nd down.
So if you ask the coaches late in the week and you say, what do you want from this? Well, I want to keep everyone healthy.
Right.
And I want a really clean game. And one of the things that's on their minds is, I'm worried about cadence. I'm worried about false starts. I'm worried about penalties because some of these guys haven't played for so long.
Right. Cardell Wilson draws the coverage, gives the coverage on the near side. Split out, it's Adam Ponsel at bottom of your screen. Back to throw. This time it's a screen pass up the middle. Here's Backer, and he's going to be wrapped up, brought down. He's inside the 40, so we are going to have a 3rd down and about 8 after that gain.
So you got a long yardage situation. They're just playing kind of a 2-show, and usually what they give you is the middle of the field. So really nice call in dumping it down. You start to see again, Sam has the ability to catch the ball also. They probably figured that out this week because when they watch him on film, they go, well, he's been a quarterback.
Right.
3rd and 8 upcoming for the South.
So 3rd down and 8, ball at the 38-yard line. North had the ball first. They picked up, I believe, a 1st down and then had to punt it away. Now the South on the move. They picked up a couple 1st downs. Motion, cross to the bottom of your screen, rolling to the left. Looking downfield, good throw into coverage. That's going to be a 1st down. Johnson on the money with that strike, and coming up just a little bit slow that time. Is that Poncelet?
Looks like it's 23.
Oh, it's going to be Taylor on the reception, who
tight end down to Eden Prairie?
Yes.
Yep. So classic flood concept there. Run off the corner. They bring Taylor in behind him on a little bit of an out route when that corner clears, and just a beautiful strike.
Good job that time by Jermel Taylor, and now a spinning carry this time by Backer, who's taken the lion's share of the touches so far for the South All-Stars. Carries it down to about the 21. Yeah, Jermel Taylor on that catch. He's 6'4", 230 pounds out of Eden Prairie High School, and he got popped when he was in traffic, but it was a nice throw that time by Kellen Johnson to pick up that 1st down, hit him right on the money in traffic.
There's one thing tight ends know that's going to happen is usually right when they catch the ball, you're at linebacker level. There's bodies everywhere.
2nd and 6, Backer from Chatfield, Minnesota. In the backfield, he'll handle the ball, spins off, bouncing to the outside, and going to get near the 1st down sticks. Had that ball, needed a little ball switch there, didn't he, Coach?
Yeah, I'm a big fan of that as a former running back. For the young kids watching, 1, it protects you. You can get your offhand out there, but 2, it protects the ball, which obviously is very important to your team.
You can see it right here.
Sam spins it. Come on, get it to the outside, Sam.
Dives for that 1st down. Didn't quite get it. It's going to be 3rd down and short here. And now Backer is out of the game. Backer has checked out. Handoff right up the middle, straight ahead and banging for that 1st down. That carry. That was Jaden Hellerud from Shakopee who picked up that 1st down.
One thing that stood out about Jaden this week is they said, hey, whatever situation we put Jaden in, he flourished. It didn't matter if it was something on special teams. Hey, can you get in the backfield for us? Can you catch the ball? A little bit of everything. There's one of 3 or 4 names that just popped out of every coach's mouth was his contribution this week.
So the South calls a timeout. Dan O'Brien, the head coach, calls the timeout and give his offense an opportunity to rest. I got to tell you, for Kellen Johnson, the quarterback, he's running the play, running to the sidelines, running back to the huddle, delivering the play, running back to the line of scrimmage, and then the next play, and he's got to do it all over again. It's got to get he's got to get a little bit winded as this goes on.
Well, we were talking about your workout earlier, right?
Yeah.
You know, what we have to do as old men to try to keep the pounds off. we used to, when we were at the University of St. Thomas, we used to put the little Fitbits on the guys.
Yeah.
And we would track how we wanted to practice and what we wanted to do a little bit differently. As a wide receiver coach, they're running routes, they're running back to the huddle, they're on special teams. Some of those guys were ripping off 8-9 miles in a football practice, and they're carrying the weight. So, again, hopefully we're not worried about these guys wearing down because they're going to probably get 2 drives on, 2 off, or whatever the coaches decide.
First down and 10 from the 12. Johnson looks to the flat and then fires over the middle. It's incomplete. So he had Backer. He elected not to throw to him. I don't know that Backer was covered, and he threw it back to the middle of the field and incomplete.
So usually what happens on those concepts is you're going to get a linebacker extending out with Sam Backer, and I'm sure he's going to be a priority for the defense. And then you find that little window right behind the linebacker extending out. Really like the balance so far. Coach Strain, head coach down at Hastings, has not been an offensive coordinator. He's been a head coach, but has been more focused on the defense, and he was tasked with calling the offense, and I know he saw it as a great challenge. I think he's doing a nice job of balancing the run and pass so far.
Fake it to Backer, rolling right. Johnson throws for the end zone. That one's broken up, incomplete. That one was intended for Poncelet in the corner, but it was broken up. And a nice job that time defensively by Caden Spence from Zimmerman getting over to break up that throw.
So it's same thing we talked about Caden earlier. He doesn't have a background, at least he majored in being a big-time running back. Just really neat to be able to see the way he can transition over the other side.
So we're going to have a third down and 10. The ball's just outside the 13-yard line. We're live here on NSPN.com. Town Square Television as well. No score. Rolling right. Johnson fires, caught, and it's only going to get 3. It's going to be 4th down. A nice throw that time on the money, but good coverage, and Hellerud is taken down to the turf. It'll bring up a 4th down play.
And this is another thing that comes into play now. I'm assuming you're going to want to give your kickers some action here. We do have, I think it's 3 specialists, maybe 4, that were invited to the game, so you want to give them. Now, if this were a different situation and you didn't have an all-state kicker,
sure,
you know, you're in Minnesota and every Friday night around the state, maybe this is a go-for-it situation.
Here's the right-footed Drew Henson. Snap is down, and Henson's kick on its way, and that puppy is good. He just put it inside that left upright, and it's 3-0 South.
Snappers, all right? I'm a longtime special teams coach, right? I'm going into this game, if I'm the head coach, I'm assuming that the criteria for picking my best linebacker, my best O-lineman, they probably were not saying, well, who's the best snapper in the state, right?
Sure.
So whichever position group you assumed or whatever specialty unit that you're coaching, I guarantee you the punt coaches on both sides are going, I'm going to be really curious as to what we get out of a snapper tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's a guy that's done it in the program, in their program, but that's not a given. So maybe they had to train someone in this week, but good operation there.
So good kicker, Drew Henson. Did Drew Henson play quarterback for Michigan about 15 years ago?
I remember getting a ball signed by Drew Henson at one point. Yep,
yeah,
absolutely. I had a buddy down at Winona State that played in the U.S. or the World Football League with him. And
okay.
There you go. You coach a guy, he likes it.
Yeah,
he gives you a ball from the World Football League.
That Drew Henson, I believe did he rotate with Tom Brady at Michigan?
That's the story, and I think he was also drafted by the Yankees.
He was, and then he went back. Did he go back to college? Is that what happened? He went and played pro ball, then went back to college, and then he ended up playing in the NFL for the Dallas Cowboys.
You would know that.
Yeah. That's what happened. I know that's what happened.
Yeah.
And he rotated with Brady at Michigan. And now he's back in high school as a kicker. So 3-0 South lead. Obviously different Drew Henson, who went 4 of 6 on field goals this year and 25 of 26 on extra points, and he drills one here. His favorite player, by the way, Justin Tucker. That's a great kicker to emulate. And now the North comes back out, and they have a new quarterback who's brought down immediately.
So yeah, I think we got Jacob Kilzer.
Yep.
Again, saw a lot of them throughout their state tournament run. What are his strengths? Man, well, let's check out the defense here, and we'll get to Kilzer. So again, we can't bring any type of blitz. So that's just winning one-on-one in the front. And it looked like he dipped in, and then he worked around the outside and finished. And I'm going to tell you, it's not going to be easy to lock down Kilzer. He is really good with his feet. He has awesome presence in the pocket, but he knows when to flush. So phenomenal finish there.
So Kilzer out of Maple Grove High School, state champ. They beat Rosemount 27-6 at the Prep Bowl in 6A last Friday night. Kilzer rolls to his left, fires, caught, and out to the 17-yard line. 16, we'll call it. And it'll be a gain of about 3. It's going to be about 3rd and 13. They were able to get a few back on the play.
Start getting into drive 2, drive 3. The coaches will get a better feel. Hey, what am I seeing? You know, when are they rotating their coverage? Why are they rotating their coverage? And another thing to consider from a coaching point is you have a bunch of coaches that have never been on a sideline together.
Right.
And all of a sudden we got to figure out how to communicate and get all this thing taken care of.
2-by-2 set. Running back to the right of Kilzer. He'll throw to the outside. It is caught and dropped immediately. So another quick pitch and catch. Reese Sheldon at Cloquet High School caught it, but great coverage. And David Maxted made the stop out of Fairmont, Minnesota.
Eyes were inside for Maxted. You'll watch it right here. Eyes are inside. He sees number 2 coming out. He ends up letting number 1 go, and he flips off on it.
So 4th down.
Again, I love watching the Gunners on this. You're going to put your best athletes out there. They're in a one-on-one matchup, and we got a block.
And that ball was touched. I think the North got it back. The ball was touched, or nobody yelled Peter loud enough, and the North has it.
Yeah, so 2 things that classically got to happen here. One, if it is blocked and it's somewhere around the line of scrimmage, you're saying stay away from it. If it's downfield, you're saying stay away from it. Okay? If it ends up back behind the punter, as a defense now, we want to scoop and score and make something happen. So, yeah, at this point, we're saying let's stay away from the ball, whatever your call is. Sometimes it's poison, poison, poison.
It was.
And we talked about it earlier, right, Tor? You know, you got a bunch of guys playing special teams that probably don't major in that throughout the year.
Well, you give credit where credit is due, and it was Keenan Wilson of Egan High School getting through, who's headed to NDSU, got the block.
You want to talk about a destructive force. Spent some time watching Keenan. So what we had there is we basically essentially had a kid going to college as a 3 technique or a nose guard that just blocked the punt. That tells you everything you need to know about how active he is. He is as dominant as a kid that I've seen in the D-line this year on film, okay? He's not 6'5", you know, he's not 270, but man, can he move people, and NDSU has got a great one. I know Coach Braun, DC up at North Dakota State's going to be excited for him.
Tate Link is the North punter. They had a block, but they were able to get it back, and now rolling to his left is Shinkajansky. He's probably going to run it here. He does, and he scoots out of bounds. I don't know. I think he lost a yard, actually, and it's going to be 3rd down and 11 on the play. Maybe 12 now. I think he lost a couple on it.
So you're already starting to see, I think they are going every other drive with their quarterbacks.
Yep.
And we always had to do this as coaches as well. You're going, well, every other drive works until one guy has a 12-play drive and one guy has a 3. So, again, getting that rhythm. We'll see how they adjust that throughout the game.
Shikanjansky back to the huddle. His wide receivers break down to the bottom of your screen. Reese Sheldon coming down to the bottom. Sheldon in the slot. Shikanjansky to throw, pressured, in trouble and brought down. Big sack. I don't think he ever had a chance on that one. That defensive line got through. And I think it was 80, Jalen Reese from Eastridge who got through. Let's check the replay.
You watch him here down off the edge. That is just pure speed.
Never had a chance at him.
And the finish. And this can go back to little things like cadence, too. You know, we're not used to the cadence yet, and the offensive line's just thinking for another quarter of a second, getting out of their stance.
This time, Tate Link kicks it high in the air. He got it off quickly that time. And scooting ahead and getting that fair catch was Caden Peters of Plainview Elgin Millville. He'll field that punt at the 46-yard line. That's where now the South takes over, already up 3-0.
I want to get a chance to see Caden return one and not fair catch. I think he had 9 returns as a senior in high school between kick return, punt return, and interception.
It's incredible.
And I want to say it was 11 in his career. I mean, you're just talking about just a stat that just blows you away.
Do we actually have the skull line here today? We do. So the Vikings with a big game tomorrow. The Vikings have been heavily involved in this game for the last 5 years since they've moved it indoors here to US Bank Stadium. And you got to give credit to the Minnesota Vikings for getting involved with high school football, for having the games out at the TCO practice facility out in Eagan. It's been a great relationship between the Vikings and high school football in Minnesota.
Well, they're back there, right? Good.
We'll get that in a moment, but hey, we have a fantastic group of kids here from all parts of Minnesota. We had a chance to sit down with them earlier this week and ask them about their past and future, including what they see themselves doing when they officially grow up.
Sower Saddle, Hill Murray, running back.
Charlie Gleason, Stillwater Area High School, defensive end. I'm going to the United States Air Force Academy.
Kate Osterman, Elk River High School, quarterback and safety, and I'm undecided.
So what you got there is this same flood concept that we saw on the other end. It's a nice one for quarterbacks. They get to move out of the pocket. They don't have to worry about the rush. If you're asking yourself, why are we moving our quarterbacks out of the pocket? Well, what's happened on 2 of the last 3 snaps? We've had pressure in the backfield, right? So let's move it out. Let's get them some space. And that is really one of his strengths, is throwing on the run.
Love Adebayo on that drop there. Adebayo, very good running back. Went for over 1,000 yards, over 15 touchdowns this year out of St. Thomas Academy.
And his older brother's at the University of St. Thomas, lighting up the Pioneer League.
Back to pass, throwing, caught. Nice catch at midfield. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 6 yards to go. Good pass this time as Pipestone's Kellen Johnson back in the game, and he hit Charles Gilbert III, who picked up that reception. Charles Gilbert III plays at Holy Angels High School, or played there. 39 catches this year.
And talking to some of the college coaches, they say if you want to focus in on one guy that might be the most athletic across the board in the way that he presents to a defense and having a matchup, he's going to be your guy.
Johnson on a Pipestone. Back to throw, rolls to his right, fires. That one is caught, this time by Adebayo.
Adebayo can run it. He can catch it, and what I think he can also do at some point is be able to block the edge, get your quarterback outside. Man, he has got some pop in his hips. He's got some strength, and I think you're going to see a lot of colleges say, hey, this is a guy that could do a lot of different things as a back. You know, let's think similar to what we have in a fullback with the Minnesota Vikings. You know, he can do the special teams. He can lead it up on a linebacker, but then he can also run the ball if needed.
Well, and that guy played in this football game, which is a pretty neat thing as well. 4th down and 4. Adebayo goes in motion. He's open. He's going to go deep instead. He's got a man. That one is caught for a touchdown. What a beautiful throw that time by Kellen Johnson. Hits his man at stride, Bryce Corson. And it's going to go to 9-0.
And we got our first celebration. Bunch of snow angels. So what happened there, Coach Strain, they threw out on the flood. They threw out on the flood, and finally they got the corner's eyes peeking at that outbreaking route. And Kellen does a good job of being able to wait for it to open up and go right over the top of the corner, as you see there, jump the out route.
Well, that out route to Adebayo was wide open, and everybody, including myself, thought they were going to throw that route, and then breaking free was Corson for the touchdown.
Interesting on Corson, in his high school, he led their team in rushing all time, and he also all time led their team in receiving. I don't know of many guys that can say that in their high school career.
Drew Henson boots it through right down the pipe. It's 10-0. South All-Stars on top as they look for their 6th consecutive victory, which would be a record in this series. What another nice look right here from our camera crew. Taking that shot was Johnson, and he laid it right into the hands of a wide open Corson, who walks his way into the end zone for the score.
We got to remember, without great blocking on the front, you don't get outside, and you don't have enough time for that quarterback to make that throw. So it starts with the O-line, it starts with the backs that get him to the edge, and then ultimately the quarterback has to make the throw, and the wide receiver needs to finish.
Yeah, well, we were just getting into our conversation about this All-Star game, and the fullback that plays for the Minnesota Vikings, that's C.J. Ham, of course, played at Duluth Central and had an opportunity in 2011 to play in this All-Star game.
Well, I'm not going to put that name quite on Mr. Adebayo, but I will say it reminds me of him from a skill set, and I'll take that if I'm him right now.
5 guys currently in the NFL that have played in this All-Star game. They're not. What I'm noticing here is they don't have Trey Lance on the list that I was given. So I would add Trey Lance, who is currently on San Francisco's roster and injured right now, but he is also played in this All-Star game, one that I called here inside the stadium. The others are Adam Thielen, Brandon Zylstra, Shane Zylstra, and Ben Allison.
And again, some of those guys were playing this game in the summer, right?
Right.
Either at McAllister College or at St. Cloud State. And I think that's where the famous Thielen story came out, where he earned his $500 at the All-Star game.
Sure. Go to Minnesota State Mankato. Made it as a Viking special teamer. Blocked a couple of punts against the Carolina Panthers. And the next thing you know, the guy's a NFL Pro Bowler.
And obviously, when I said he earned his $500, it was through scholarship, right?
Right.
Not for just looking really good in the Minnesota State All-Star game.
I'm going to run the football here. Kilzer on the draw across the 30. He's going to be near the first down as the North is trying to get on the board here, down 10-0 early in this football game. In the second quarter of action here.
Very familiar with the ability for him to run. So they said, okay, we're not quite in the rhythm we want with our pass protection. Let's get him going with his legs and see what he can do.
Kilzer from the gun. And they're going to hand it off immediately up the middle, swallowed up on the carry. Is that Nolan Witt?
Little swipe zone play. And so what's interesting about the zone, when you're in an all-star game like this and linebackers can't blitz, your O-line should be able to spend a lot more time on level 1 double teaming. You have linebackers firing through gaps, all of a sudden these linemen have to peel off. So
Andrew Haran comes to the bottom of your screen. 10-0 our score, South.
Getting some low man here. You can see, you're going to start seeing him chucking the ball with some vertical action. There it is.
Oh, what a throw by Kilzer. Just cuts that loose, going deep for Sam Masungu.
Corners were up and pressed. I mean, that's an easy one. Usually you're going to, even if you have something short called, your wide receivers are allowed to adjust. And that's something I think they're hoping they see that again.
Yeah, incomplete. Kilzer, the ball really pops out of his hand when he throws the football, but just too far. Not enough trajectory on that one, and that one incomplete, out of bounds. So we're going to have 4th down, and the North is going to elect to punt it away here.
This is about the only time you can blitz, right?
Right. Oh, they're going to fake it. And it's a throw, and it's incomplete. Is there going to be a flag? Yes, there is. They're going to get an interference call. That pass.
Worried about all your O&D that you're putting in and go, let's throw in a wrinkle on special teams, and I love it. Where it puts the defense in such a tough situation there is they're thinking they're running after a guy down the field that is covering a punt and they need to block him, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as the ball goes in the air, it becomes defensive pass interference because they just think it's a punt. So it's a really tough scenario for defenses to be put in anytime we fake and we throw the ball.
So there's a long discussion here by the crew. You're going to be able to see it here. Cade Osterman's throw. Cade from Elk River High School went to throw that ball.
Number 25. That'll be a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. The result will be a 1st down for North.
Cardell Wilson was the intended receiver out of Robbinsdale Armstrong. And that pass was broken up, but also interfering on the play. It was the South All-Stars, and that'll be a 1st down now and 10 at the 47-yard line. So another opportunity, a reprieve is granted here for the North, and they keep the football. Play action. Kilzer goes to throw. Again, he's going to overshoot his receiver, and this time by a large margin. He went back to it. As you said, they wanted to see it, and Masungu was open again. That pass too far once again.
So now what you're going to see is the defense is going to slide back. It's going to force the offense to throw back down low. It's kind of the natural progression of offense and defensive coordinators going back and forth. The other thing to note is, let's not forget, Cade Osterman's the one that threw that ball, right? Quarterback.
Right.
For years, punt coaches would put a quarterback at up back just so that threat existed and kept people from rushing.
Kilzer's going to keep it himself. Slides over midfield down to the 45-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down and short, and there hasn't been too many 3rd and short for the North.
And that's been their best run game right now, is using the back outside, letting Kilzer keep it, and fit up into the line. And you're really playing +1 football at that point, right? Everyone is either a blocker, and you're not handing the ball off where the quarterback is just watching the play go along. Really speaks to the strength of what they're seeing right now in the defensive front of the North.
Kilzer's favorite player, Pat Mahomes. And this time looking anything like Pat Mahomes there as he gets swallowed up and brought right down to the turf. It's going to be 4th down. And those two went at it, didn't they, in the 6A championship game as Mills comes through. Big man on campus, Hayden Bills, going to Arizona State. And check it out here, this play by Bills.
So to your point, it was a matchup a week ago. Bills, obviously, with his track pedigree, is just unbelievable story. Broke the state record in the discus, and right there with what he does in football as well, just physical. I mean, he just runs through people. Good place to put him.
So here's a 4th down play. See what happens here on 4th down. And 5 yards to go for Kilzer. Oh, and I think he got a jump here. They think that they got him to go, but they're for sure of it.
Number 75 on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
So it is a false start. I thought that the lineman flinched on the defensive side of the football if we get a chance to see it again.
Definitely movement on the top right side. I just didn't see what happened first. And then it becomes, well, was that enough to actually get him to jump on the offensive side of the ball? classic tactic, right? Let's try to get that 5 yards without having to snap the ball. And now we're back to punt team. Kate Osterman, note, is not in there this time at the up back spot.
It is down at the 33-yard line. Tate Link, the punter. Osterman not in this time, and a first down for the South, trying to add to their already 10-0 lead. 6:38 to go.
You know, you mentioned the Minnesota Vikings around the state. They're also have just done such a phenomenal job with their youth camps around the state and getting to all these other outstate communities, as well as doing a great job in the Metro.
New quarterback in. Handoff. Spinning. Boy, he's got that spin move down, doesn't he?
That's Patton. That's Patton and Sam Backer.
Noah Strickfadden in at quarterback.
Quarterback on the play.
Norwood Young America.
Number 7 for Norwood Young America. The ball carrier, Sam Backer, number 21 from Jackson.
I always like to see how a coach calls it now that he has a lead. You know, you just feel like finally I got a chance. I got a little bit of an area to take a shot here.
I want to know, do they get to keep those helmets of theirs once they get them all stickered up like that?
I would hope so.
2nd and 1.
I'm not sure that the athletic director and the budget at the high schools would feel so good about that, though.
Yeah, especially if you got 2 players in the All-Star game. Here's Backer carrying for the first down. He's got to be the leading rusher in this football game, out to the 48-yard line. Another first down for Noah Strickfadden and his South All-Star offense.
Yeah, when you look at the rush attack, you always say this, when is the running back getting touch, and then what is he doing after contact? And what we're seeing right now, Sam is doing a good job of bouncing, but he's also then really gotten some nice lanes from the front.
First down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Strickfadden. Handoff going to the far side, cutting it up across midfield. Nice dart that time by Hellerud out of Shakopee. Carried for 1,348 yards this season. 12 touchdowns for Ray Benton's squad.
Really nice job when you're running to the sideline. At some point you need to understand, I am not going to get the edge, right? And at that point, you put your foot in the ground, you head upfield, and let me tell you, you know that people are coming inside out.
Seems like Ray Benton's squad is always running into Eden Prairie. They lost 28-12 in the quarterfinals this year. State tournament, back to pass, firing, caught over the middle, nice pass, broken tackle inside the 30 down to the 26-yard line. Nice pitch and catch that time by Strickfadden, throwing that thing over the middle to Giovanelli.
Giovanelli is also another St. Thomas commit here. Watch the replay here. You're going to see the linebacker expand out, and it's similar to a curl flat. Looks a little more like a slant. Good job going up in it. We don't want to jump and get it, go up and leave our feet if we don't have to. He had to in that case, gets his feet on the ground and finishes upfield.
Approaching 4 minutes to go in this first half. Good carry to the outside, still on his feet. Inside the 15-yard line goes Backer.
So you can get an edge 2 ways. You can either reach the edge with a tight end wing, or you can get some type of crack block coming down inside from the wide receiver. So you see our big man, Mr. Reese, pulling here on the pull. You get a nice crack up top, our wide receiver. And both of those things need to happen in order to get the edge.
In the championship game, Backer went for 111 yards and a touchdown in that loss to Barnesville. A great year it was for the Chatfield Gophers. Strickfadden. Play action, rolls to his right, looks downfield, in trouble, is going to try to run with it. He's going to get the edge, inside the 5, Strickfadden sticks the ball out, call it a touchdown. It was a great call. They're going to say no, he was out of bounds. Oh.
Progressions as a quarterback, right? We want you to run the huddle, we want you to handle the cadence, drop back. This is what's going to be open. And
Look
then what
at
happens
this.
when it's not open?
They put it on about the 6-inch line.
when it's not open, it's, okay, now you're our best running back, so let's go to town.
Check this out on the replay. Strickfad. They're going to put it back at the 1 yard line, maybe just inside the 1 yard line. Let's see it. You don't really have a camera over there, and I don't know. That looked like a touchdown to me. He just ruined a good call.
Let's see if he can get it back right here.
Here's Strickfadden. Handoff. And he's in. Touchdown. Jaden Hellerud takes it in from 1 yard out. And
that's what we call a leverage touchdown. They didn't block the edge, and what they're telling Jaden to do is, hey, as soon as you're going to get contact, put the foot in the ground and go north and south and let your leverage and let your momentum take you into the end zone.
They're having fun down there at least. At least they're having fun. I mean, a lot more fun when you're up 16-0.
Yep.
Here's Hellerud
This
taking
is a 6-inch play. See, we're leaving them unblocked. We need you to be able to beat the edge. And at 6 inches to a foot to a half yard, you can do that. That's not what you're going to be doing in the open field. But when that's what you need, you're all right with it.
Here's Henson trying to stay perfect on the day, and then a little jump over the top of the pile, and that's going to be a penalty.
Dead ball foul. Offsides. Defense. Half the distance to the goal. Repeat the try.
Someone wants to add to their highlight film.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting there. We're seeing it on the other. We had a chance to see it on the other side. And our last extra point attempt going over the top.
Sager was going over the top. His coach, Charles Adams, is here at North. Try to jump the pile. Now they're going to go for two. Going to pull their kicker off. Is that what we're going to do here? Yep. Strickfadden coming back out. So Dan O'Brien says, you're going to do that, you're going to cause a penalty. We're going to go for two and try to add on to this already 16-0 lead here in this first half with 3:59 remaining. And Hellerud is the back in the backfield. They'll go pitch. Hellerud cuts it up. Did he get in? I don't think so. I think he was stopped short. He was, so they don't get it. And that's where the score will sit when North gets the football back.
It's a beautiful job fitting that thing up by Reese Littlefield. Finding a little seam. A lot of times at linebacker, you're just a running back on the other side. You're going to bounce, 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 and then you're going to see that hole and you're going to go. And he just happened to have a running back in at that time.
So we have 50 years of high school football this year, right? 40 years of the Prep Bowl. Prep Bowl started in the Metrodome in 1982. The 2A championship, which was the high class that year, was Stillwater and Owatonna. Great game. I still remember watching that to this day. 33-27. Stillwater won that one with George Stoll, the legendary head coach, coaching the Ponies to the victory. This game started 50 years ago in this series. This how this has been run. 61st year overall of this game. But in 1975, check this out, after the kick is going to drift into the end zone for a touchback. In 1975, this game was played at Memorial Stadium. 32,167 packed in to watch the game.
Wow. Well, we brought it up earlier with the great job the Vikings are doing in the youth community. Man, what an opportunity to get a bunch of youth communities in here.
Mm-hmm.
That's our push next year.
It's a good crowd here right now. Good crowd on the far side of the field. North down 16-0 with 3:59 to go. And with the Max Shikanjansky back at quarterback, they got some quarterback play with Kilzer and Shikanjansky on the offensive side of the ball. But up front, the South has been handling. Shikanjansky right side. Oh, what a great attempt that time for that pass behind Kilzer.
Always want to balance as a coach what should be the one-hander, but what should maybe we should be doing too. We love the one-hander, right? Everyone loves to see it. There's times when, as a wide receiver coach, I can tell you, the teaching point becomes both hands needed to go up on that attempt.
Yeah.
That might be one of them. It's really cool to see Jacob Kilzer out at wide receiver right now.
Right. Shikanjansky.
It's great use of personnel.
Rolls, fires, throws downfield, nobody there. His dad, Jim Schickenjansky. I mean, I grew up watching Gopher basketball in the late 80s. 87, they went to the NCAA tournament. I believe it was 87. 88, they lost to, I think 89 maybe. They lost to Syracuse. 90, they beat Syracuse, sorry. 90 maybe it was. But Jim Schickenjansky was a part of those teams, and he was the king of that 11 to 14 foot jumper.
He just did a little bit of everything, and every good basketball team is, needs that guy. Can defend the bigs. This is where Max is really good.
Max fires first down. Good completion here out to the 45-yard line. Good job getting into the hands of Reese Sheldon, who ran after he made that catch.
When we talk about a lot of things he does well, and we mentioned it earlier, what happens when everything kind of breaks down and I don't get the wide receiver open that I want or the tight end dragging? Now you got to be able to figure it out on your own. And there's players that are really good in the pocket. There's players that are good moving around. He's good at both of it. Just a really good strike on a moving play.
Here's Schickenjansky. Was that like a half slide? I don't know. Maybe not. I might get hit if I go that route.
I don't know the high school rule, but I know the college rule. They went from not allowing the fake slide. Maybe he was pulling one of the fake slides and
maybe
didn't fake well enough. Ended up on the ground.
Old Kenny Pickett ended that rule in college football last year when he scored a touchdown on a fake slide. Brilliant move. Kenny Pickett now at the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's Schickenjansky. Play action to throw, rolls to his right, strong side, fires, incomplete. So Masungu, Sam Masungu out of Andover High School, who caught 41 balls for 648, 60 touchdowns this year. He has had more balls thrown to him today, not even close.
Yeah, and it was a really good route. I was watching that. All they're doing is playing off the leverage of the outside linebacker. If he's inside, you run an out-breaking route.
Yep.
And just really fluid with his routes. Gets in and out of breaks so well.
Cardinal Wilson into the game now at receiver, and that one too low for Masungu. He played in an incredible high school football game in which they lost the section title game 51-49 to Elk River. Elk River, of course, went on to win the state title.
And seemed like they averaged that points-wise in most of their run.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch.
It's incredible what Hamilton has done.
Well, as we mentioned last week in Prep Bowl, the power tee is not going away. And
it's been successful. I mean, Lakeville South ran it as well. And
Rosemount introduced it this year.
Yeah.
Cannon Falls had a ton of success in southern Minnesota with it.
False start. We're 13 on the offense. 5 yards, remains 4th down.
So we get a penalty again here. I think last year we didn't have a penalty called in the entire game.
Yeah, but they're not, they're not the big holds and the personal fouls. Sure. It's more of the getting off the ball, understanding what the snap counts are. Right. It's communication type stuff. And talking to the coaches again early in the week, those were the things that they were probably most worried about.
At halftime coming up, Coach O'Brien will be stopping by, picking up a headset. We'll interview him, and then coming back out, we'll talk to Coach Lombardi.
Interesting 4th down go for it here.
Schickenjansky floats it. He's not going to get it. He reached for it, but I don't think he got it. Boy, that was a heck of an effort, and it was just close.
And they are giving it to him.
Masungu reached out as far as he could go, and they're not even going to measure. They're just going to say first down. Wow. Boy, did you think he got it? Initially, I did not.
The tough thing is I always get so locked into where the ball is without what they do well down on the field is, but where's the knee at that time when the ball is out?
Great effort by Masungu. Schickenjansky, good effort. Completing that pass on the run, and now we're going to get a timeout by the South, and we're not going to get a replay, so they're just taking this to catch a break. 2:19 left to go in the first half. 16-0 South on top. Huge first down for the North if they want to get themselves back into this football game. Check it out.
So you got Max Flush in here, creating on his own. And it is really tough to be running full speed right, come back across your body and throw. And I'm not going to make that call. I leave it for the officials. I trust them. They do a phenomenal job in this state. So thankful for what they do for our kids and our football communities. And I will tell you, they will watch that, and they will study as a staff, and they will be as hard on themselves as anyone could be.
Sure. The
just great pride.
Job. Mike Matthew does a fantastic job. He's been at it a long time. Coming up at 2 minutes to play in the half, Shikanjansky at quarterback out of Stillwater High School, 6'2", 170-pounder. 26 touchdowns this year. In trouble, and he's sacked. Back around midfield. Great job, great pressure coming through by the South. Huge pressure that time, and quick feed by Coyote Amison.
Big-time player out of Woodbury. As you saw, this is just what he does. He closes. So you have to win at level 1. And after you win at level 1, then you've got to be able to track down a really good athlete.
Speed.
Love to see him just, if he could, get that hand down on that ball. You're starting to see here, they're going to have to start moving the pocket and get the quarterbacks out if they want to throw, or throw quick.
2nd and 17. They threw a little too quick that time. It was behind the receiver and incomplete.
And you're seeing the coaching staff's identifying the open pocket in the coverage. They have thrown to that spot on the field probably 8 to 9 times.
Yeah.
It's just a matter now of making that connection.
3rd down and 17. They need to get at least half of it back.
3rd down.
And again, you look at 1:32 on the clock. Get half of it back here if you can. We're not worried about timeouts yet. 1:32 is all the time in the world. You got first downs that can stop the clock if we can get a first down. But a good time to attack the middle of the field.
Shikanjansky here on 3rd and long. Steps up, in trouble. He's going to be brought down again. Another sack. It'll be 4th down. So Wilson gets through, and he'll bring Shikanjansky down to the turf. And Keenan Wilson, another big play. Wilson was the one who blocked that punt.
Yeah, we mentioned him earlier. Again, he's going to be heading up to NDSU. He is just a block, and he's awesome with his hands. And I mentioned last time, it's one thing to win on level 1, but it's another thing to chase down a really good athlete at quarterback. And I love his little dance.
I'll tell you that.
That's better than what I can do.
Shikanjansky sacked on the play out of Stillwater High School. Makes it 4th down. And the South, with 40 seconds clock running, will get the football back one more time. That one almost blocked, but getting it off that time was their punter, Tate Link, out of Dassel Cokato. Favorite player, Stefan Diggs. There was a lot of Diggs, a lot of Jefferson in this game today when we asked about their favorite player. Wilson, well, Wilson, that's a big boy. You talked about him going to NDSU out of Egan High School. I mean, they got some guys up front. Hayden Bills on their offensive line. You got Tripp and Johnson. It's a big squad down there. 34 seconds to go in the half. It's 16-0 South.
Hey, we're going for it. It's an all-star game, right? Let's push it down the field. We have timeouts. We have a chance to get our time stopped on the first down.
Strickfaden hands off immediately up the middle. They carry ahead.
And it looks like they're going to be good with letting it go.
So it's Christian Rodriguez getting his first carry of the game to end the half. They're going to just take it down and be content with the 16-0 lead. Rodriguez out of Waseca High School.
Coach Brad Wendland down there, always really, really competitive teams. They just play really, really hard. There's a great rivalry down there with them and Marshall. Talk about some big-time players throughout the years in many sports between those two schools.
They beat Fairmont earlier this year 32-14 and lost the section title game. That must have been a tough take there after having such a great season. Lost 35-26.
Yeah, and you bring up Fairmont with Coach Mahoney. Coach Mahoney is one of the guys in this setup that actually helps out with evaluating some of the South and making decisions on who.
We're going to be joined now by Coach O'Brien. Coach, how are you doing? How are you enjoying this? Tori Holt upstairs. I'm joined by Travis Walsh. We're enjoying watching you guys. You having fun?
Yeah, we're having an absolute blast. We've got great athletes on both sides of the ball and some real explosive kids at the skill positions. And obviously you're seeing some good kids up front too. So it's been a fantastic night so far, and we need to try to figure out a way to keep it going because the North is awfully explosive.
What's the week been like leading up to all this?
It's been fun. You know, we shared at the banquet last night that, you know, we had 3 days to put in a new offense, a new defense, and new special teams. And as a football coach, we usually get 2.5 or 3 weeks to do that before we play a game in the regular season. So it was a busy week, a hectic week, but the kids were fantastic all week long.
I know, Coach, I know part of this is going to be spreading the wealth, but how good did you feel coming into the week knowing you had the offensive front that you did and being able to establish the run to set up the pass?
Well, I'm always nervous about what the other team has as well. So, you know, it's a team full of all-stars. If we were in the regular season, we had a couple of guys like we have up front, those big guys that are headed to the University of Minnesota, you'd feel fantastic. But they've got great players over on their side of the ball, too. So I felt, I wouldn't say I was overconfident, but I felt like if our kids came in and worked hard, we'd have a chance today for sure.
Coach, how about your season? How did you feel about your season? You had another great one over at St. Thomas.
Yeah, it was great. You know what? It was 10-1. We were a little bit disappointed with the finish of it, but we got beat by a really good Montemita team in overtime in the quarterfinals. And anytime your squad makes it to the state tournament, you're pleased with it. Our kids, of course, would have liked to go a little bit further, but 10-1 is pretty good. So we'll take it, and we'll be satisfied with that.
In the second half, Coach, are you looking at? Do you kind of look at, hey, who got what reps, and we're going to try to balance it out, or are you going to just stay with your rotations that you've set?
Yeah, we'll stay with the rotations we're set. Actually, we're going every other series, so kids are playing every other series, and as long as we stay healthy, we'll keep that up.
What are you going to talk to them about now when you go in here to the half? I mean, are you talking about adjustments? Are you talking about stuff like that has to do with game strategy? Or you're going in there and you're cracking a few jokes and letting them have a little bit?
No, it's not time for jokes yet. We're going to go in and we've got to figure out the quarterback read on that. They've hurt us a little bit with a quarterback pull, so we got to try to get that piece figured out. And again, they've got a really good receiver in number 1, the kid from Andover. So we've got to try to figure out a way to make sure we can cover him the second half. But no, it's hey. It's a 0-0 to us right now.
All right, we'll let you get in there, but we appreciate you stopping by. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Coach O'Brien runs a great program over at St. Thomas Academy, of course, and has these guys out to a nice 16-0 lead. Got to be happy right now.
And think about his experiences. He has been an AD at the Division II level. He's been a head coach at the Division II level. He's been a director of football operations at the University of Minnesota. And he takes all that and he gets to bring it back to one football community. It's a lucky football community.
Yep. We're going to take a timeout now. When we come back to start the second half, we're going to have an interview with Coach Lombardi. But for now, we take a timeout. We'll break. 16-0. South leads the North in the Minnesota Football Coaches Association High School All-Star Game from U.S. Bank Stadium. Back in a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Egan Wildcat Dance Team.
Music make you lose control. Music make you lose control.
Everybody here, try to get your best. Applause, misdemeanor said so. Everybody here, get it out of control. Let me work it. I put my thing down, flip it and reverse it. It's your primitive is why I need. It's your primitive is why I need. If you got a big, let me search it to find out how hard I gotta work. Yeah, it's your primitive is why I need. It's your primitive is why I need. It's gotta be what you know. I heard this bitch got hit by 3 zeros and a monkey. I can't stand it nowhere. When I walk up in the piece, I ain't got any speed. I'm a bad man, my jump got taken. Y'all people ain't got it like me. I ain't studying these crows. Need to talk what you know. Stop talking about who I'm sticking and licking, just mad at ain't chose. Let me switch up the game. East Coast, West Coast, down south, represent your coast. Yeah, we run it, yeah, we run it. Y'all don't want it, cause my coast run it. Oh, we run this game. We run this. Headbanger. I scream it loud and proud. Missy gon' blow it down. People gon' play me now. In and out of town. Cause I'm the best around. With the crazy style. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. Get your freak on. Is that your chick?
Ladies and gentlemen, the Egan Wildcat Dance Team. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the field the Dassel Cokato Cheer Team.
C-H-A-R-G-E-R-S.
Sweet dreams of me, of me. You and mine, you and mine. It's all me. Travel the world and the
Dassel Cokato.
That sounds familiar. I feel no shame. I'm proud of where I came from. I was born and raised in the Philippines.
These are spirit fingers, and these are gold.
Like grandma's yarn. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I say y'all having a good time out there. Ain't nobody like it now. Don't stop the party. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't nobody like it now. Don't stop the party.
Ooh, I'm all the time of my life.
I'm a fireball.
Ladies and gentlemen, from Dassel-Cokato High School, the Dassel-Cokato cheer team. Thank you.
Saddle, Hill Murray, running back.
Charlie Gleason, Stillwater Area High School, defensive end. I'm going to the United States Air Force Academy.
Kate Osterman, Elk River High School, quarterback and safety, and I'm undecided.
I'm Corey Beaumart. I go to Matamita High School, and I play running back.
I'm Alan Pearson. I go to Tartan High School. I play defensive tackle and center, and I'm going to University of Minnesota Duluth.
My name is Trey Mack. I go to Irondale High School. I play right tackle, and I'm committed to Northern Illinois University.
I'm Jackson Pasick. I go to Royalton High School. I'm a defensive end.
Owen Glenn, Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and I'm going to Wadena Tech School.
My name's Grant Chandler. I'm from Grand Rapids.
All right, Coach Matt Lombardi is with us of the state champion, Maple Grove Crimson. Congratulations, Coach.
Oh, thanks. It was exciting. Really proud of our kids. They really battled last week and played a great game, and it's exciting for our community.
Hey, Coach Travis Walsh, could you talk, just let the audience know, I mean, obviously you're coaching up until last week with your squad. When did this whole process start with your all-star staff?
Well, they asked me like in June to do it. I said I'd love to do it. Obviously, I would not say my focus was 100% on this game. It was about 1%, and so the rest of my staff did a great job picking up the slack and taking care of things and kind of letting us do what we did. And then, but it's been fun this week getting to meet some great kids and watch them practice and do some great stuff. It's been a lot of fun.
What kinds of things did you do to get prepared for this game leading up to the week?
Really just kind of getting to know the kids this week is the best part. I mean, you constantly go against them as opponents, and now you're seeing them as players and men, really, and it's really a great opportunity because all you see is the helmet that you want to beat when you're preparing, and then you get to meet and see what great kids they are. It's really been a lot of fun.
Real quickly, I guess, for the second half, what do we have in store for us?
We just got to play better. This is a game that they pretty much strip the rules down, so it's mano against mano, and who can play better. And I just told our kids, let's have fun. There's 24 minutes left. Let's get after this thing and keep your chest up and get after it and let the chips fall, but we're going to play every ounce of what we got.
We appreciate your time. Good luck in the second half, and congratulations again on a state championship. It's forever.
Hey, thanks so much. It was awesome.
Matt Lombardi, head coach, Maple Grove. They've been there before. This year they got it done, and they got it done in a way that maybe people didn't expect. They really took control of that football game and never let go.
I mentioned this on set with Chris with our prep bowl coverage. You saw it with his Wayzata teams on defense, and you saw it with the Maple Grove. Everyone says, man, they are so fast on defense. And I had referenced their kids understand exactly what they need to do in each play, where they have help, and they go. And they're not bogged down with scheme. And I can tell you from coaching some of his guys at the college level, it equates to really confident kids walking through the door.
Well, we're underway here in the second half. South is going to get the football first, and out to the 28-yard line is where they will start with the football. First down at 10, already up 16-0. So the North down 16, but also at the disadvantage. They don't get the Tecmo advantage here in the second half.
And I'm with the coaches here. You know, you say you go in there, you know, we want it to be fun, but we want to be able to put on a show here in the second half. And no one on this field wants to say, I either contributed to that losing streak or our winning streak broke. So
Noah Strickfadden back at quarterback, and a handoff on the right side. Backer with it slips ahead on first down. He gets about 5.
A lot of the same. Let's start out with run. Let's get in a reasonable second down. Usually the goal on second down is just get half of what we need. So hopefully we're looking at 3rd and short.
Let's get the down marker guy to get his game back in order. Yeah, now he does. So we got second down at 5. He had it listed as 4th down.
He's still on halftime break,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, he was. Strickfadden led a great drive. Touchdown drive last time he was out on the field.
See him pretty soft in the corners out here. So you're probably going to get some underneath.
Fires down the middle. He's got a completion inside the 45-yard line and back on the move. Jaden Hellerud, who scored a touchdown.
So this is interesting. A lot of times with these wings, defenses will say, well, is he a guy that's going to run vertical? Usually you see the wings blocking the edge, swiping back down the line of scrimmage and kicking out. So sometimes you just kind of forget about him. But if you watch here, you see with the wing, he just came from the wing position. We're not worried about him beating us, right? He's just a blocker. Well, it's different with Mr. Hellerud.
Hellerud down that seam, big completion. 25 yards on the completion, so first down at 10 now. Little reverse action coming back to the near side. Trying to get a block, slow it up for a minute, and Hellerud 2 consecutive touches of the football, and the football is now second down and 1 down to the 36-yard line. So Hellerud scored the last time he was out on the field, a touchdown from 1 yard out. This time he's taking it a bit farther, gain of 9 on the play.
We said it earlier in the game. It's exactly what the coaches said. He is good at a lot of different things, and it popped out in the middle of the week. Purpose of reverse right, we just want to slow down the D. We want to slow them down early enough to get them to think second thoughts about, do I want to go here fast?
Here's Rodriguez stuck in the backfield. Christian Rodriguez in the carry. Good play coming up from the defensive back position. Philip Conant, their linebacker rather, St. Francis.
It's one thing to make the tackle. It's another thing to make sure you're coming up there and fitting it with the right leverage. And it's nice when you can get there, but then also finish.
Gonna have a 3rd down and 3 play.
Loved his helmet placement on that at the outside. It's something that we're always going to teach our defensive guys. If you're going to fit it, let's keep your eyes up for safety. And let's fit it that in the event we don't make the tackle, our buddies can help us out coming inside out.
Strickfadden with Rodriguez to his right. 3 wide to the top of your screen. Coming back to the near side. That one's going to be incomplete. He wanted to go deep down the left side. Charles Gilbert was bending it on the backside post, but incomplete.
So you see this a lot. Cordell Wilson on the backside did a phenomenal job staying over the top. So what happens is you start rolling your quarterback to the right. You're trying to get that safety hanging out in the middle of the field to go with him so you can throw a post on the backside.
Favorite route to throw was the post route.
Got to be, right?
Yeah. Just let it fly down the middle and let the guy run.
I think you and Pat, our producer from last week, in pregame, had the post rolling.
On 4th down, they're not going to get it. A little draw play up the middle, and this time Hellerud was stopped. So a big stop for the North. They're going to get the football back and a first down. They gave up 0 points here, 9:23 to go in the third quarter. They're going to have a chance to go down and punch one in the end zone and get back into this football game.
And that's what you say as a coaching staff, right? You say, what do we need? We need to play. We need to handle the first drive on defense and get it back. I mean, you were staring going down 3 scores there. They did exactly what they needed to do, put it back in the hands of the offense. And I'm curious to see what the play selection is here early to get their quarterbacks in a rhythm.
Kilzer will give on the draw play and quickly swallowed up that time. It's Ethan Bull out of Crookston High School. Had a tough season, they did, but in a 41-18 win against Holly, he had 203 yards and 3 touchdowns this year.
Yeah, I mean he's been on varsity since 9th grade, winning letter 9th through 11th grade, or every year since the 9th grade. You think about playing football in varsity in 9th grade. Big time wrestler. He's done baseball. He's done track and field. I mean, he's across the board, phenomenal athlete.
Committed to North Dakota. Here's Kilzer now. 3 wide. He's going to keep it himself. They've had some success with this play, but not this time. Maybe got 1 on the play. It's going to be 3rd down and 9.
I'm pretty sure that was Keenan Wilson again. Just been really good in terms of getting into the backfield. It tells you he's not just taking on blocks. He is taking on blocks with penetration and finishing in the backfield. Really think this is going to be a big one here for the North to get this thing kick-started.
3rd down, 9 yards to go. Clock down to 16 seconds. Rolling under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. 16-0 is their score. South All-Stars on top. Kilzer from the gun. He has a gun. Back to throw. Got time. Fires. Caught. First down. Out of bounds.
And let's give credit to the front there. Max got to set up. He got balanced. He was able to trigger it out there. But he had time. Just a beautiful pocket set up right there. He's able to step up and make the throw.
Sam Masungu with the catch out of Andover High School. 16 touchdowns for Masungu this year. Favorite players, Jamar Chase. Good one for a wide receiver to emulate. A lot of Justin Jefferson.
You can see, look at that pocket stepping up. Didn't have to worry about his follow through, anyone hitting his hand or anything. And that's what Max does really, really well.
Carried by Nolan Witt out of Esco High School. Hasn't committed yet. They went 11-1 this year. They lost in the state quarters 21-17 in a tight one to DGF, who ended up in that thriller last week.
And I know we have some representation from a number of the communities up there. I know Grand Rapids had a phenomenal year in football, and obviously go all the way up to Section 7, and we had Mountain Iron Buell winning the state championship. Just really neat to see that balance of the North winning some state championships.
Going deep. Kilzer, left side. That one incomplete. He fired that one for Sheldon. That one out of Cloquet is Sheldon. Reese Sheldon, 6'2", 190. Going to NDSU. That's another school up there.
Protection great. Phenomenal throw. And just a really good finish by our corner here. Watch him. As the hands go up, you're going to go ahead and try to work through. He wasn't able to work through the hand. We talked to the DBs a lot about, say, hey, we want a top lock. Grab his arm down, lean into him, and then look back for the ball. And most officials will tell you, if your eyes are back making a play on it, we're not going to throw the flag.
Sheldon checks out to the top of your screen. Kilzer to throw and run. Now in trouble, all the way back to his 35. Getting chased, and he's going to be brought down. That ball is out and out of bounds. So big time pressure from the South defensive line, and they had a host of tacklers in there. Jalen Reese was the one who ended this play.
And what these quarterbacks are starting to get a sense of is the difference between high school ball and college ball. It's not just one defensive lineman you need to worry about chasing you down. It's 4 guys that can do that across the front.
That was almost a pinfall. Wilson got the original pressure, and then Jalen Reese out of East Ridge High School, he's headed to Air Force, finished it off.
Usually you get those lessons the first 2 weeks of college. You have one of those moments where you realize this is different. And almost like every guy's going to tell you, it's not the size that's different, it's just how fast things happen at the college level. And this is just a nice prop for these guys to start looking into that window of how it is going to be different.
So that punt end over end on 4th and 29 is fair caught. And the South takes back over. And they're trying to put this one away. It'll be Kellen Johnson out of Pipestone is going to come out and get under center on this drive with 6:03 remaining in the third quarter.
Hey, random one here for you. What's your favorite decal?
Favorite decal?
Helmet decal in the state. Is there one that jumps out as a high school?
I'm a big Rosemount fan. Yeah, I like that classic look. Looks like Michigan. I love it.
Interesting story. You know, Coach Erdman talked to us about those 3 stripes having meaning: special teams, defense, offense. Something that I didn't know. Pretty neat.
No idea.
Yep. Something that Coach Sadek had brought to. Bob
Sadek.
Yep. Legendary Gopher QB, right?
Yep.
Had brought to Rosemount, disappeared for a while, and then Coach Erdman had brought it back. And you say, well, it's Michigan, but the 3-stripe thing I had never heard of. It's just really neat history.
Brett Sadek was my coach in high school. He was 26 years old. It was his first coaching job. He coached our high school. He was a fresh new teacher after his career at Iowa State. Had ended, I believe, in 88, 89. And in 1990, he was coaching us at Apple Valley High School, our sophomore team, then onto the varsity, and coached quarterbacks. Coached at Apple Valley for years up until about, I don't know, it must have been about 2013 or 14 or so. But at one time, by the way, Brett Sadek was in 1981, won the state title for Rosemount. Last time they won the title. It was the last outdoor, previous to TCF Bank before they moved in here. It was the last outdoor before the Prep Bowl won in '82. He was at the time the highest recruited quarterback in the country, along with Berline and Jim Harbaugh.
Wow, that's good company now.
Yeah, and Berline ended up going to Notre Dame, Harbaugh to Michigan, and Brett followed his father to Minnesota, and then Coach Salem was there. Coach Salem leaves, Lou Holtz comes in, Sadek's sophomore year. Sadek is a drop back passer. What's Holtz? Running the option, brings in Ricky Foggy. Sadek transfers to Iowa State, leads the Big 8 in passing.
Some big-time Minnesota history right there.
Yeah.
You know, we're going to ask, we asked all the kids on here, who are your favorite athletes?
Yeah.
You think about growing up in Minnesota when we did. It was Ricky Foggy.
Yes.
It was Kirby Puckett for me.
When did you graduate high school?
1994, Elgin Millville High School.
Okay, so I was 93. Foggy, yeah, he was like a legend. He actually coached with Dan O'Brien, I believe, at St. Thomas Academy. Head coach at Red Wing for a long time as well. Still see him out and about. Back to pass, fired out near side. Backer, a lot of room. And that was like a Billy Sims move there, out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
And a really good job. So what they're doing is they're flooding it out. They're running guys down in the curls and the hooks. And you reset your feet, turn your shoulders, go outside. And now we got a really good running back matched up against an outside linebacker. But it's 8 to 10 yards downfield. So high percentage throw, room to run.
Minnesota Football Coaches Association All-Star Game. Anderson Windows, big sponsor of this event. Pitch near side, out of bounds.
So this is your pin and pull type scheme, and you want to. I have fun watching football when I see big guys out turning the corner, running. Just quick pitch by the quarterback, get it to a scatty little running back, and then pull your big old offensive lineman out on a corner. And you saw Greg Johnson there running around the edge. As we mentioned earlier, Gopher commit from Prior Lake.
Kellen Johnson at quarterback. Pipestone, Minnesota. It's way down there, isn't it? Handoff up the middle. Little jet sweep action for Hellerud, and then it was stuck at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd down and short now.
I'm not great with geography, but I'm pretty sure it's west.
It's
west of us.
Yes, I think it's in the corner, southwest corner.
Yeah, I was totally off. I always thought it was in the.
You might be right. I don't know. I'm just making
in the
stuff
bump
up.
out.
Yeah.
Up in that area.
Really?
No, I don't know.
You do. I know where Lakeville is. That's where I live. That's what's important. Get home tonight. 16-0 is our score. South and North going at it. South with the football again. Kellen Johnson rolls right, fires, caught, first down action inside the 20-yard line. It bumped out of bounds. Nice catch and run that time by Tyson Koorman, his first catch. He's headed to Northern Iowa. He likes it. Little action, little pumped up out of the Randolph Rockets.
Yeah, just south on 52 as you're heading down. Randolph, just a tiny little school. I've been in there many a times recruiting throughout the years. This was one of the kids that really started to help this small town turn around their sports programs. And I know a lot of college coaches loved his body type, his athleticism. And you just look at that guy and you go, hey, there's a lot of different. He could be an outside linebacker. He could be a tight end. Give a college football coach 6'4", 215, and he's gonna have a whole lot of ideas based on what they're doing O&D wise. And
there is no foul on the play.
So there was a little jaw
Result of the
jacket
play.
down there. There's your pipestone. We're looking at it up here in the booth.
Ding, ding, ding. Yeah, I always associate with the little bump out over
Out
there
here,
to the left.
like in North Dakota action area,
Yeah,
like
that
up there?
bump out, yep.
Yeah, no. Southwest corner. We got her. But you were right on with Randolph. 1st and 10 now at the 24-yard line. Straight give and no gain on the play. So looking for their 6th consecutive victory, the South, since we've gone to the North and the South. This would be a record. And
a really nice job there by Grant Chapman pulling. And what you're going to want to see is the tailback, and you'll see this again, but you're going to want to see that tailback stay with the puller. With running backs, you're always, hey, they're explosive, they're fast, and they want to go places fast. And sometimes you just want to tell that running back, hey, just slow down. Give that big guy in front of you a little time to make that block and then stick in or bounce it out.
did you know this? The North has never won a game inside U.S. Bank Stadium in this series.
I did not. I do believe we're going to get a game out of this one.
Johnson towards the 20-yard line. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 7 yards from the 21. And remember, they got a guy, Drew Henson, who can kick it. It'll be interesting to see if they do go for the longer field goal. They went for the...
And I want to correct myself. That was actually Caleb Rector pulling on the previous play.
Okay.
Did a really nice job of getting around the edge at guard. I believe at University of St. Thomas commit, and they make their living with their O-linemen and pulling guards. So it looks like he's going to fit into the mix nicely.
Clock winding down here towards the end of the 3rd quarter. This potentially could be our last play of the quarter. Johnson from the gun pitch. Trying to get the edge, and a nice second effort there is going to leave him just shy. It's going to be about 4th and 3. Backer on the carry. Looked like he was going to scoot out of bounds and stuck his foot in the ground and cut it up for about 3 more.
Same play we saw earlier with our big guy, Greg Johnson, pulling around the corner. You often talk about when you're an offensive coordinator, you say, if I had success running the play left, let's come back and run it to the right where the defense hasn't seen it. We went right back to the left there, and I think jersey number 3 said, hey, I've seen this before. I'm going to come up and jump this thing 2 plays ago. And part of it is I don't want anything to do with being in the track of jersey number 777 coming at me, right?
Yeah. So 4th down and 4, a timeout on the field by the South as they're trying to drop this 4th down play. And their kicker, Drew Henson's probably saying, hey, give me a chance here. Give me a chance to kick one through, but I think they're going to go for it.
And that is exactly what you want your kicker to be saying. And then when you make your decision not to do it, you want to be saying, great call, coach. Right?
Yeah.
I want to make sure that we get looking for jersey number 3 on the north. I want to be able to give him credit for the phenomenal play he made off that edge. But I do not see it on our roster right now.
I don't know if there's a 3. Is there a 3? Is that 3 or is that
down here in the bottom?
Oh yeah. I wonder if they switched a number.
Well, they switched decals, right? You think they got a little crazy and went out?
Yeah.
What do you think we trade out one of these jerseys?
Yeah. So there's a 3 lit on the north side that's not listed on the game. It could be Owen Glenn. I wonder. 33. So they are going to kick it. And our kick is on its way, and it's going to be wide to the left. So after all that, Drew Henson gets his opportunity and just pulled it left.
Hey, good protection.
Yeah.
Looked like a good hold. The other thing to consider, if you remember, Coach O'Brien was the special teams coordinator one year over at the Minnesota Gophers as well. So it's probably easy for him to say, hey, let's do this special team thing really fast this week and make sure that we're sound with our operation. Just kicked around the ball a little bit, moved it to the left.
It's got to be really tough to do that in here, though. I mean, you're talking about getting together, what, 3 or 4 days and then trying to pull off a field goal kick.
Well, I'm telling you,
the snapper, holder, the blocking, the timing of the kick. I mean, that's about as hard to do as Baker Mayfield coming in and running a 2-minute drill to win a football game after only being there for 2 days.
Yeah, and it's not probably the top on their list.
Right.
Man, what a finish by Jalen there. Jalen Reese.
Yeah, no. He
and we've seen this a couple times now. I mean, again, he's not blocked. I think what they want to do there is they're reading off him to throw. He's big, he gets in the throwing lane. We force hesitation, and that's all he needs to finish.
So we have come down to the end of our third quarter. We just have one more quarter to play here at US Bank Stadium. 16-0 our score. The South traveled most of the distance of that field when they took the ball that final time, but missed that field goal from Drew Henson. They come up empty, no scoring in the third quarter, and the North has the football when we start the fourth quarter of play. Our final minute of play. Well, in the final minute of play, we had some action last week at the Prep Bowl. DGF and New London Spicer came down to this miraculous finish.
For all the marbles right here. Delzer goes to the slot on the far side. Schultz back to throw. He's going to heave one down to about the 20. It's caught! Pitch back! Look at this! Christensen wins the game! New London Spicer is state champions in one of the greatest finishes in the history of the Prep Bowl. Take a look right here. It's your play of the game, brought to you by Minnesota Rusco, Minnesota's hometown remodeler since 1955. And
back to the action here. Here's Kilzer actually catching that pass. Nice reception that time by Jacob Kilzer, but getting back to that play last week. 3.2 million views it got on James Monaco, producer from KSTP's tweet. Our game last week.
Well, Torres, it was a phenomenal call, so thank you. I'll never forget that call in all of my years. One of the things, being down on the field with Chris Long, and the thing, I remember they were finally running off the field, just jubilant, right? And Chris grabs the 2 guys involved in the pitch. He goes, "Was that planned? Is that something you guys had worked on?" And they both look at us and go, "No, coach." Oh, man, it was great.
Big stop in the backfield, and that time Shikanjansky was wrapped up and brought down. What was remarkable to me was the fact that DGF went, 93 yards the previous series to score what you thought was the game winner with 26 seconds left, and you were already saying, what a great game. And that was coming off a game in which Mountain Iron Buell won their state championship on the final series of the game, and then we were just set up for that. An incredible finish to that football game, one that I will never forget. And as it was happening, I don't call a whole lot of football games anymore. I used to do this almost daily for years, and being away from it, being caught up in something like that was very special. And obviously special for New London Spicer, who won the state title. And outside of what was it, 2005, when Totino Grace won on a double deflection on the final play. Dave Lee had a great call on that game. Outside of that, I just can't think of any greater finish to a Prep Bowl game.
I think it's a real compliment to everyone that's involved in football in Minnesota. Youth, our great coaches, our officials. All of those games last week were really competitive.
Sure.
And when you have high-level football across the state, you're not going to have the big blowout in the Prep Bowl, right? You're going to get really good competitive games. And we're getting deeper as a state. We're getting more high-end talent as a state. And it's a reflection of all the work that everyone is doing in this state.
So the 4th down call fails, and back on offense, it's Hellerud taking the handoff and trying to get around the right side here inside the 20-yard line. He's going to get a 8 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 2.
And you go back to the fake punt, you go, well, it's the same fake punt that we saw. And really, again, we talked about it earlier. What are we relying on? We're relying on the officials to go ahead and throw a flag, and just did not happen that time.
Now, big congratulations to New London Spicer and DGF for putting on one of the great games in the history of the Prep Bowl. Handoff up the middle, and they're going to get close to the 1st down marker. I don't know if he got it. Spinning his way down was Christian Rodriguez.
We talk about this a lot. You know, hey, they want to win the game. Coach O'Brien's down there now going, I've got a lead.
Yeah.
How do I win a game with a lead?
Yeah.
Let's melt the clock. If we have to throw, we will. Let's make sure it's high percentage. Let's make sure it's a quarterback has a chance to run, get him out of the pocket if we are going to throw. And this is where you're going to see an experienced coach say, this is how you win a game when you have the lead.
9.5 minutes to play, clock running in this 4th quarter, 16-0. Our score.
And you probably don't work on a lot of these situation stuff, but you want to, let's get that clock down to inside 5 on every snap.
Yeah.
And those got to be the goal. And these are the things that you probably don't get to talk about a lot. But I'm assuring you that an experienced coach over there is saying, hey, with everything I'm asking you to do right now as a quarterback, let's try to make sure we melt this thing down.
Hellerud carried. It was a 1st down carry. He's down to the 9-yard line. 2nd down and 5 from the 9.
Usually this is part of the game where you're saying, okay, everyone's getting wore down, they're getting tired. Hey, we've had a ton of rotations throughout the game. That should not be an issue.
Big tight end checks out of the game. That was Jermel Taylor. He headed to the sideline in to the football game. Comes Tyson Corman.
Interesting. Formation into the boundary. They're putting everyone down into the boundary.
They fumbled the snap ball on the ground. And Kellen Johnson got it back and then just dove ahead back to the 10-yard line.
And you could see why. They put everyone down in the boundary, try to get them there. They were running a reverse to the field. So why put the formation in the boundary? Get a defense all the way over there and give us all that green stuff to run to on the reverse. And sometimes you get really excited when you know it's a reverse, it's a special play. Just didn't execute it.
Drew Henson getting the leg warmed up. I don't know if he'll get another chance. I think this time they probably go for it here as the clock is winding quickly now.
Well, it would give them a 3-score lead. So that's the one thing to consider here is that you go back and kick the field goal to get the 3-score lead.
Stefano Giovanelli to the top of your screen. Keeping it himself as Johnson trying to get around the edge. He could not do so. Stacked up, wrapped up, and then we get whistles and a stoppage of play. It's got to be 4th down. 7:20 and the clock running here in the 4th quarter. 16-0 as our score. All that scoring happened back in the 1st half. They're down to the 9-yard line now.
You know, with Kellen Johnson, I think there's a lot of college coaches watching this game saying, wow, he's got size.
Yeah, 6'5", 210.
Got size. He really throws the ball well. And I know a lot of guys go, hey, that body could do a lot of different things. I'm telling you, this kid could play really good college football at a number of the universities in this state.
Hellerud checks into the football game. Checking out of the football game goes Adebayo. Hellerud in the backfield. 4th down and 5. Motion to the right. Back to pass. It's Johnson. Fires. Got a man open. Touchdown. Jermel Taylor from Eden Prairie High School scores the first points of the second half. It's 22-0.
So famously, I know this play is snare. Your tight end is going to block down on the side you're rolling out, and then he's going to slip out to the backside. All types of names for it, peek. But you're just trying to get the defense to move, and usually you're also dragging a guy from the backside of the end zone, clear that area out. If you watch here, let's sprint to the right and sneak our tight end back out to the backside after faking a block.
He almost underthrew him on it, but Taylor did a good job slowing up and catching it with his hands, getting his hands under that low pass, hauling it in, scores the touchdown. Jermel Taylor, 6'4", 230 pounds at Eden Prairie High School. And now his buddy Drew Henson in to make it a 23-point lead. He does, just inside the left upright, and the South looks like they're going to do it again. Checking it out right here. Taylor across the line of scrimmage.
It seems easy when someone as athletic and smooth as that makes it look, but running one way, getting your hands below your waistline and making that play is not as easy as that looked.
Look at how much fun they're having. A little selfie action.
Where'd they get the phone? They pull a Terrell Owens here? Or?
No. I think that was Joe Horn, wasn't it?
It was.
Owens had the popcorn. Horn had the. Owens had the Sharpie too. Yeah. Horn had the cell phone in the. It was a flip phone, by the way, in the Superdome pad in the end zone. It's the best celly you've ever seen or been a part of. You probably weren't a celebration guy. You seem like a hand it off to the official kind of guy.
Yeah, for sure. You know, let's. Two things that I always learned from some really good coaches. Allow the official to put his hands up without throwing the ball at him, because I guarantee that all the officials are going to keep those hands up, so he's going to get doinked in the face or doinked in the chest. Hand him the ball and then go run and celebrate with the guys that made it happen for you, right?
That's a great point. That's a Barry Sanders way of doing things.
Oh, and he was the best. Others would say, hey, act like you've been there before. I'm just true believer in that.
Yeah. So 23-0 is our score. Let's see if North can get on the board here. Potentially their final possession. Okay. North coming out here with another possession to try to get the offense correct. It's just been real tough sledding for them, and their game is really, I mean, as football is getting decided at that line of scrimmage.
It is. And I think this is where the game's going to change. I think we're going to see mainly pass the rest of the way, because if it's incomplete, it stops the clock, right?
Yeah.
And if it's complete, it usually means chunk yardage. It's going to be tough for the North. I'm assuming they don't have a lot built in for your 2-minute stuff, your hurry up. So that becomes a challenge. So you're going to have to be forced to huddle.
Masungu on that reception as he hauled that one in. Kilzer, the quarterback, split out wide to the right, Max Shikanjansky. And we have Shikanjansky in this game. And also Chris Lewinsky, the former Viking, his kid from Minnetonka, Jack Lewinsky, is in this football game. He's playing center for the South. Wanted to make that mention. He's going to NDSU. 6'3", 285-pounder.
He's a phenomenal football player, and as I've learned from my mentor, Coach Caruso, you know, there's good old linemen, and then there's good guards, and there's good tackles, and then there's true centers. And sometimes you got to create a center. Mr. Lewinsky is a center.
we've had some good professional football players in the offensive line come out. I mean, Trey Pipkins starting for the San Diego Chargers. I coached him at Apple Valley.
Spent some time at Sioux Falls in college, right? D2 guy.
Yep. Sioux Falls, played at Apple Valley, a couple different sports. Shikanjansky coming out near side, floats with a nice touch pass. It was almost picked off. Tried to float it over the backer that time, but it was broken up. Intended for Haran.
Obviously, you have, we're going to be facing Detroit this weekend.
Yeah, the Zylstras.
You got the Zylstras. So same thing that we've talked about earlier. Got him to the edge clean, which is great. Good fit up here.
Oh, good extension there.
If he could have it over, I'm saying, hey, he'd probably want to time his jump up. But anytime you can get your hand on the ball as the DB, you know you're fitting it up the way that your coach has taught it to you.
Marquez Monroe that time on the coverage out of Kennedy High School.
But Frank Ragnow is where I'm going.
Oh, we talking linemen still?
Yeah.
Here we go. Fourth down play. Shikanjansky in trouble, and he's tossed down to the turf. And
that's Hayden Bills again.
That'll be it on 4th down and 3, and the South will take it back out. We still got 4:50 left, so the South could punch another one in. See where they go with this.
South will take over on downs.
So it's just beat him off the edge. And what happens is sometimes as a quarterback, when you're getting that pressure up the middle, you get flushed.
So the South takes over the football. It looks like we're going to have a play here real quick. And then,
South taking over.
Yeah, so South takes over here. 1st down and 10 with 4:50 left to go, a 23-0 lead. Handoff straight up the middle and spinning his way down to the turf. Hey, we want to just thank our great sponsors in this one. Today's Vikings All-Star Showcase, product of the hard work of the Minnesota Football Coaches Association. MFCA wants to thank the sponsors for assisting and presenting this opportunity to these top student athletes. And thank you to all those wonderful sponsors on your screen teaming up with the Minnesota Football Coaches Association. This is a great event. It's a great event. Does a lot for these kids, getting them recruited, getting them seen. I just remember seeing some of the great. I just remember watching Trey Lance out here just a few years back.
Well, let's not forget, the strategic move of moving this game to December.
Right,
for years, it was late in June. And
then
he
was never down. Oh, hey, he was never down on the ground in the Whistles blew. You're going to watch this on a replay. It was
doing his best Jason Williamson impression from Owatonna.
Oh, Love Adebayo. Looked like he was headed to the end zone, but I don't know if we're going to get a replay or not. Let's see. Now, the truck is telling me that he might have been down. It looked from up here he was not, but they got a better look being able to see a replay. Let's see. Oh, yeah, he is down right there.
Nice call.
Yeah, good call. Good call by the truck. Good call by the officials. Great job by the truck and the camera guys down there as well, giving us a great shot of Adebayo. And here we are, a 3rd down and 4, ball at the 11, motion. Adebayo again spins. He's going to be stuffed right at the 10. He might have got 4th down. And some whistles blow here to break up the pushing and shoving.
Reese Littlefield, heard his name a couple times tonight. One of the many Reeses in our game tonight. I want to go back, though, and just, again, what the MFCA has done in moving this game is you're going to get more guys that want to play in this game because it's not going to interfere with their summer transition into college.
Right.
And that idea of, hey, I really don't want to get hurt in June or July in an all-star game. I think it was a really well done by our Coaches Association. Now, not to say right now there aren't a lot of hockey, basketball, wrestling coaches that are a little bit nervous.
yeah, right.
Just say, hey, get our guys home safe. But,
well, yeah, with the length of the football season, I mean, we got basketball's already been going on for a while, right?
4th and 3, South from the north 10.
23-0 is our score. 2-minute warning. It was a timeout by the North. Exactly 2 minutes, so it confused me.
So yeah, it looks like the South is going to keep it going. You said this will be a sixth straight victory.
This is the only high school all-star game that is played in an NFL stadium, which is pretty cool for these kids.
It really is, and again, that's a product of the Vikings and the relationship they have with the community and the MFCA and building that strong connection with the Vikings.
And how about Golden Gopher football having 8 players in this game? Ethan Carrier, Alex Elliott, Greg Johnson, Garrison Monroe, Martin Owusu, Max Chiکنjansky, Reese Tripp, and Jerome Williams.
I can remember growing up, we'd have 1 or 2 guys from in-state go to the Gophers.
Sure.
And again, that's just all that product what we're talking about. Everything is getting stronger in state. The high end's getting better. The meaty part of that bell curve's getting better.
Yeah.
Just pushing it up from the bottom, and it's fun to see our Minnesota players on the Saturdays playing ball.
Adebayo, first down inside the 5. Good burst of speed. Boy, did you see the burst of speed that he had to get the edge on that and get that first down?
I've seen a lot of it watching his brother at the University of St. Thomas. I mean, they have. There's a lot of similarity in the balance, the burst, the finish.
Mm-hmm. Well, he is short in stature, 5'8", 193. His football idol is Barry Sanders.
Looks like him.
That's a good one. Yes.
And not to, you start thinking about the success that also when we talk about where the state of football is right now in Minnesota, you're thinking about the Bethels, the St. John's, the Mankato's, and the Minnesota high school system feeding all of those programs that are winning at national levels at different levels in the NCAA.
Noah Strickfad, 6'2", 185. Noted Joe Burrow as a favorite of his. Adebayo takes that inside zone play down to the 4-yard line. Strickfadden had a great year at Norwood Young America, threw for over 2,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions, 324 on the ground and 7 touchdowns, and he had 2 picks on D. So he was a guy that just kind of did it all over the board. They had a good season. They went 8-3, losing to Howard Lake Waverly in that section championship game.
And you see that a lot at the small town level, right? You're going to have to play safety. You're going to have to return some punts. I love watching Cade Osterman go, okay, he's at a 5A. He's the quarterback. He's the leading rusher. He's the punt returner. He's the free safety. To be able to do it at the highest of levels and playing both sides of the ball was really something to watch.
And Love Adebayo will end this one with a touchdown with 19 seconds left. Carried it in from the 4. And it's 29-0. And they're doing a little Viking duck, duck, gray duck.
His finish on the goalpost, I don't know if I've seen that one. That was big time.
That one looked like, I was going to say Visikahema, but Visikahema, he did the boxing with the goalpost. It was somebody back in the day used to do that. It'll come to me.
Well, it will be on YouTube this week or Twitter this week or TikTok, and it will probably end up in the pro game at some point.
And the snap is down, and Henson, he pulled that one, misses it. 29-0 is our score, and the last one on the inside zone play by Love Adebayo.
We had a little puller there, so it's going to be a trap. And watch, not the touchdown finish, that one.
That's great.
I think that's an original.
It might be.
So neat little story. Talking to the linebacker coach.
He's got the chain on.
For the South, you know how they came up with that. 3 of them walked over to Home Depot and created it.
The chain?
The chain.
Really?
Yeah. Originally, it's supposed to be a turnover chain. They just must have made it a community chain, right? Big play chain.
Great.
Yeah.
Now, the original one was Miami Hurricanes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, coach said, you know what? They want to come over the chain. Everyone's looking around. We don't have a chain. They go, well, there's a Home Depot over there. So they walked across the street, bought a few items, and put their chain together.
So that's like a chain. That's a real chain.
You got it. Yep.
So you can't be some flimsy corner. You got to be a tough guy to be able to put that one around your neck. One of these guys is John Randall, listed as their favorite player, which I thought was interesting. 2 points. One, John Randall put chains on to try to make weight back in the day and fool his defensive line coach to try to get on the field. It's Trenton Fontaine Wendigard out of Mankato West. The kick is down to the goal line. This is going to be a return kick. We've never had a kick return for a touchdown ever in the 61 years of this game, and we still are not going to have one, as Ryder Patterson from Lakeville South was taken to the turf.
Ryder's one of those guys that...
or Seidel, my bad, 15 on the north.
Seidel, with Ryder, one of the guys that really stuck out across the board. Duluth's getting a good one. He probably plays some receiver, but in talking to Coach Burke last night, he could be a phenomenal safety. A really good corner is where they've liked him this week. To finish your point with John Randall, he spoke to this group, correct?
Yeah. 10 seconds to go here in this contest. 29-0 is our score. So this potentially could be the last play. They're going to use Kilser's big arm. He's going to throw downfield. That one is caught, not out of bounds. Goes Masungu.
Looks
5 seconds left.
Looks like a catch you're going to see on Sunday. Great presence.
Yeah.
Little toe tap.
Yeah. Out of bounds at the 44-yard line. So are we going to see another one here? Another shot. Kilser could probably get it to the end zone from where the ball is at on the field. Now, this won't be quite as dramatic, but we'll see if he'll have the time to be able to get it downfield. He just flicked that with his wrist to Masungu.
Little toe tap. Beautiful stuff.
So should be the last play of this all-star game, and it goes over the head of Kilser, picked up on a hop. Kilser to his left, sets up, fires downfield, it's caught! And we have come to the end of this one. He did complete it. Ethan Bull hauled it in, but that's how this one ends. 29-0. The South has run their record in their last 6 in a row, and that is a record.
I think from the North's perspective, you're saying, where was that earlier in the game, right? And it's amazing. You see this a lot of times with bobbled punts and all that. Defenses start to stray away from their assignment, and all of a sudden a guy pops open. But really nice job of tracking. Boop, boop.
Too bad they couldn't get another play. But that's where this one ends. 29-0. So a domination. I guess the domination happened up front. I mean, that defensive line was so stout from the South team. I mean,
yeah, it was one in the front, and you're gonna hear that from most coaches, just kind of coach speak.
Yeah.
But you really looked at the rosters, and man, you know, to me, Keenan Wilson was just as dominant as anyone in this game, and just disruption. Wasn't always the one finishing it, but was the one forcing these quarterbacks from the North and Kilser and Chicken-Jansky to have to flush out of there. And
Caleb Williams won the Heisman, by the way. Maybe one of these guys will win the Heisman someday.
It's definitely a possibility. We have how many in Minnesota history?
8 Heisman Trophy winners?
Yep. Smith?
Yep, Bruce Smith.
Bruce Smith. And I think that's it, but don't quote me.
1936? I don't know.
The defensive
41?
most valuable player for the North All-Stars is defensive back number 21, Caden Spence from Zimmerman. Congratulations to Caden Spence from Zimmerman, defensive most valuable player for the North All-Stars. And now the North All-Stars offensive most valuable player. He is a wide receiver from Andover, number 1, Sam Musungu. Congratulations to Sam Musungu from Andover. He is the offensive most valuable player for the North All-Stars. And now the most valuable players from the South All-Stars. The South All-Stars defensive most valuable player is a defensive lineman from Egan, number 92, Keenan Wilson. Congratulations to Keenan Wilson, defensive most valuable player for the South All-Stars. And now the offensive most valuable player for the South All-Stars is a running back from Shakopee High School, number 10, Jaden Hellerud. Congratulations to Jaden Hellerud from Shakopee High School, offensive most valuable player for the South All-Stars. Congratulations to all of our most valuable players. Ladies and gentlemen, to receive the All-Star Game Championship Trophy are the captains from the South All-Star team. Captains, please step forward. Congratulations to the South All-Stars. They win the 50th annual All-Star Game. And by winning tonight's game, the South now sets a new game record for the longest winning streak in All-Star Game history, which is now 6 games. Congratulations to the South All-Stars. And again, congratulations to all of our 2022 All-Stars for fine high school football seasons throughout the state of Minnesota and for a fine All-Star Game here at US Bank Stadium this evening. Congratulations to the players and coaches that participated in tonight's All-Star Game. A special thank you to Anderson Windows and Doors, along with all of our partners. And thank you, fans that came out to celebrate the great game of football. On behalf of the Minnesota Football Coaches Association and the Minnesota Vikings, thank you for attending tonight's game. Family members that have the approved wristbands, you can make your way down to the field via the stairs at the bottom of your sections. You will have 30 minutes on the field to greet and congratulate our all-star players and coaches. Again, you'll have 30 minutes on the field. Please plan accordingly. If you have the
big thanks to Dave Giles, our public address announcer for today's game. The offensive, defensive MVPs on the north side, it was Sam Musungu and Caden Spence. And on the offensive side of the ball for the South is Jaden Hellerud from Shakopee High School. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Torrey Holt up here with Travis Walsh. We just called the game. We enjoyed watching you play today. First off, I gotta know, how is it playing for my guy Ray Benton over at Shakopee High School?
Awesome, man. I wouldn't want to play anywhere else. That guy's the best, man.
Well, let's add Coach King to that mix too.
Yeah, Coach King too. Coach Wires, you got to throw him in here. He's awesome, man. Coach Olsen, that whole offensive staff, the whole staff at Shakopee's been incredibly awesome, man. If you want to go play some good ball, go to Shakopee.
Hey. Rex King's done a great job. Go ahead.
Hey, Jaden, thing that stuck out, we talked to coaches this week and said, who are some guys popping at you? They brought up your name mainly because of your versatility. They said, it doesn't matter. We're doing something special teams. He can do a little bit of everything. What prepared you for that? Is it backyard football? Is it what the situations your coaches had put you in throughout the years? What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, so growing up my entire life, I've always been a primary running back that's been inside the tackles guy, kind of a big bruiser.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of my role at Shakopee too, three-point stance, kind of wing tee offense, inside zone, a lot of that. But it was awesome to be able to come out here and kind of demonstrate skills that, really did learn backyard. I mean, I'd go out and help my boy Garrison Monroe go for commit, playing on this team right now, number 4. I'd go out there and cover him. I know I can't cover him, but I go out there and cover him, give him some work. I'd go out there, run routes on him too, just work on my craft, man. It's football. You got to be able to do stuff all around the field.
I gotta ask you. You got a Vikings mini helmet. Is that signed? Get a signature on that one?
No, but they said they're gonna mail me a plaque, so that's pretty cool.
Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's a good deal. You got a touchdown. You ended up punching that one in. Tell me about the week leading up here. What were kind of things that you guys did together during the week?
Yeah, so the week leading up, I mean, it's been awesome with these guys. I mean, everybody comes in the best from their city. You expect it to kind of be a little bit of butting heads, maybe ego, but that wasn't it with anybody on this team. I mean, we walked in, and I found some brothers instantly, and these are guys that I'm probably going to – these guys I'm probably going to remember for the rest of my life right here, man, just playing with them. I knew a lot of these guys before, but, I mean, I met a lot of new ones, so this has been a great opportunity, man. Very blessed.
Hey, Jaden, what's your plans for next year?
I'm still undecided. No offers right now, actually, for football or wrestling, anything right now. So I'm trying to grind my way, man. I'm going to rank number 1 at 220 in 3A for wrestling.
Well, this was a real
hopefully.
good start for getting that name out, man.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, nice job, man. Congratulations on a great season. Congratulations on taking home one of the MVPs, and I'm sure you'll have offers in a moment. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jaden Hellerud for Shakopee High School had over 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. How about that, though? A guy that comes in here, shows out like he did today, scores that touchdown, gets named MVP. He's got to get some offers.
Yeah, it certainly will happen. That's the beauty of this game, is given the opportunities to shine on a scale against a lot of other really good players.
Another guy that shined today, Keenan Wilson, defensive MVP. Congratulations, Keenan, on the great game today. Here come your boys.
Y'all tripping. Thank you.
Hey, Keenan, I got a chance to watch you last year on film, and I remember telling Coach Johns, well, I was really first saying, who is that? You were destructive, dominant. Could you talk a little bit about the transformation of what's happened at Egan and how you've had to be a big part of moving that thing from a program that's been down to now making that next step?
Yeah, it all started my freshman year. NJ came in. He wanted to do things different. He wasn't satisfied with our varsity record. Sophomore year, he really pushed us to be in the weight room and be with each other and just keep pushing. Junior year, that was my varsity year. He was really harping on us about like being with the team and just keep striving, keep grinding, climb the ladder. And senior year, we knew it was our year. All the freshmen, my class, was sick and tired of the way things were. So we decided to change that. And I really think it shows a brotherhood at Egan. And if you want to join that, it's perfect. It's family. I'm gonna have those guys around me a lot, like LT, Esther, Peter, all those boys.
Keenan, you're headed up to North Dakota State University. What went into that decision? What did you really like about that program and why you chose to go to NDSU?
I really like that program, just the way everything felt. Those coaches, to me, they were really, really nice. They welcomed my family. And I got some buddies up there too, so I know people there, and I really like that winning program. I like that. I like the grind there. I like the way they run the ball. I like the way the defense plays. Everyone plays together. That brotherhood. That's what I'm really about. I'm really about family and brotherhood.
Hey, Keenan, can you confirm a rumor? We've been told that the South linebackers put together a turnover chain that they made from materials at Home Depot.
Yeah,
Is that straight up?
Yeah, those boys did that last night, I think. That was pretty funny. Kay Gilbertson, McLeod, they were up to that. That was pretty funny.
Love it.
What would you say was one of the things, maybe not on the field, that just stood out about this week, getting to know your buddies?
It all started the first day at practice. We were going at it. We all thought, the All-Star game might be just a little laid back, but no, people were going at it. Greg Johnson, the right tackle, he plays left tackle too. He was giving me a great look. Our defense was playing together. Our head coach was pushing us, and we knew we wanted to come out on top. So yeah.
You come into this week, and there's all these helmets that have all these different designs, and you're trading out the stickers.
Yeah.
What was the one that you really wanted? And did you get it?
Yeah, what did I want? I wanted the Rosemount one.
Oh, cool.
That's
Keenan, I said the same thing. He asked me what if you could get one sticker, which one you want. I said the Rosemount one.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Well, congratulations on a great game today. It's fun winning. Really neat that you were named the MVP. It's got to mean a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Keenan Wilson, he's headed to NDSU. He dominated in the football game today and represented Egan High School very well.
So proud of this group. I know the coaches, now you get to just breathe and you look back. I think about Coach Lombardi right now going, think of that stretch of football that he's been through. And now it's just time to relax and exhale. And what a moment for all these kids out here.
29-0 was our final score today. They missed the extra point to finish things off. This is how we got started, all the way back in the beginning on a big play here. Long touchdown pass to get things going.
And that was just a really good call. We saw the way the defense was playing over and over again. Pumped the ball outside, extended, and it's just a really good throw and catch.
Yeah, Bryce Corson from Fillmore Central caught that pass and went in. Here is Hellerud's touchdown from 1 yard out. He punched it in.
And that's just, we talked about, it's leverage. It's leaning into the guy and needing to get 6 inches and finding it.
They were in command at that point, and then they came back. This one sealed the deal at the end of the little play-action pass, and this one put them up 23-0. The big tight end from Eden Prairie, Jamal Taylor, and then our guy, Love Adebayo, takes it in. Celebration we may not have seen before. I think I have. I can't remember where it's from, but it was great. Then the Duck, Duck, Gray Duck, and that's what it's called, Minnesota. And it's a 29-0 victory and a 6th straight win for the South, which is a record.
Yep, I think you're looking at a group in the North that are going to say, we need our class of 24 next year to break this thing.
Yeah,
right?
They do. They do, and they got a great class, and coming up, the junior class in the state of Minnesota is strong. Your thoughts as we close here on the state of football in Minnesota?
As I said earlier, I think the Prep Bowl speaks a lot to the health of it and the depth of it. And even as we were running up through the section championships, the quarters, games were close, games were competitive. You know, and I hear a lot from coaches around the state. Getting a lot of times to state is easier because now we get to play teams that aren't familiar with us. It's tough beating a Caledonia twice or a Maple Grove twice or getting to the state sometimes gives you that little bit of break. But when you start seeing those games get really tight, that's when we know we're in good shape. And just so proud of the state of Minnesota and the growth that we've seen in the product, all the way from the officiating to the coaches down through our youth programs. It's got to be there across the board, and it is.
And having this game right here inside U.S. Bank Stadium, I mean, for the South, it's great. They're 6-0 inside this building. And we're back here again next year. To have the Vikings a part of it and all the great sponsors that are a part of it. Of course, the Minnesota Vikings, Pro 3 Solutions, Wilson Game 1, Jostens, Doubletree, Adrenaline Coach, Football Coaches Insider, Let's Play Football, Huddle, Field Turf, Rydell, Coach Communication, Cambria and Twin Cities Orthopedic and Anderson Window. I mean, it's awesome to have all of them such a big part of this, including the Minnesota Vikings, who have a big game tomorrow, having a great season. To be able to come in here to U.S. Bank Stadium, such a treat for these kids.
It's not that. It's the Minnesota Football Coaches Association, huge part of this. Saw so many familiar faces walking through the halls today.
Right.
These guys are coming in, volunteering their time from that unit to help out in any way they can, whether it's leading the bands around, whether it's getting the dance teams out on the field. It takes so many people to pull off an event like this. And like everything that is football in this state, it starts with the Minnesota Vikings, through the Minnesota Gophers, down to the Minnesota Football Coaches Association.
Big thank you to our executive producer, Andy Price, in Town Square Television, putting this event on NSPN.com. For my partner, Travis Walsh, I'm Torrey Holt. We're going to catch you next year right back in here inside this event. And for the rest of these guys, well, the best of luck to them as they head off to college. And as we look ahead to August, we'll be excited to next year's football season as we had such a great ending at the Prep Bowl. That'll be all for now. The South wins this one. They're 6th in a row, 29-0 over the North. Big thank you to the Minnesota Football Coaches Association. We say goodbye from U.S. Bank Stadium. Have a good night, everybody, and thanks for watching the Minnesota Football Coaches Association All-Star Game right here from U.S. Bank Stadium on NSPN.com. Goodbye, everybody.